Hello, everybody. Sorry about the wait. I was over on Extreme Movie Show. We were just wrapping that up. If we're talking about Transporter 2, so if you've not subscribed to the Extreme Movie Show, it is called Extreme with a there's no E in the beginning. It's just Extreme Movie Show, 3 words. Go check that out. Subscribe over there. We could really use the watch time over there, even though it says over like a 1,000 subscribers. The watch time just seemed to die out over there. I don't know. People just don't care, or is just a bad time spot frame. I don't know, but I never know. YouTube is always changing. I'm live on this channel every single day to try and push the algorithm into saying, hey, we're active, let's do something. So but all right though, hello to Marania, hello to Cheeseburger and Comics, what is up? And Cheeseburger Comics saying, I'm loving the Archie comics, Army of Darkness. I honestly am looking forward to that. Now, think about Archie. For those who don't watch Wes's videos over on Thinking Critical, he had mentioned that Archie in one of his shorts thing is going over to Ani Press, which he said is like, okay, Ani Press almost went out of business a couple years ago. They were saved by some other company, so it's like interesting to see what happens with Archie comic books in the future if Ani Press goes under, because Archie used to be a household name. But I don't know if it still is, though. But I know. It's like the Millie Tyler Moore show and some of the other ones, hee-haw. Once a certain age group, goes out, gracefully. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll find out. But let's just jump right here in the books here. Bregan, how was your night? Are you warm yet? Or are you still freezing your ass off?
No, I'm fine.
Oh, you're fine now? That's good. Yeah, we're supposed to get up to 37 here on Friday, so I'm looking forward to that. Finally get some snow melted a little bit.
So we were supposed to get 3 to 5 today.
Yeah?
Streets are bone dry.
That's always great. Because Punctuary Phil over in Philadelphia, he saw a shadow. The one here by me didn't see a shadow whatsoever. He just said, "Let me sleep." But so I don't know. We'll see what happens if we have 6 more weeks of winter, or maybe we'll get an early spring. I'm hoping for an early spring. I just hope that this summer we don't get a lot of rain. It just felt like we got a lot of rain last year. But all right. So if you're new to this, we talk about the new comic books coming on every week on this channel here. And if you have any questions, if you want to look at a book that it's not in my top 5, I'll definitely click on it. We can look at it, review it. Just let me know in the chat. And hit that like button if you haven't done so. It helps encourage the algorithm say, hey, people like this. Because it doesn't really share it out, which is kind of sad. Notifications do not exist. That being said, my number 5 this week, it was kind of slim pickings for me, because I've dropped some books because I just don't like the writer and I don't like the direction that the book's going. My number 5 for me this week is from a writer. I just read a miniseries by him and changed my mind a little bit. I read his previous issue, and that was Wolverine number 14. So this week, Wolverine 15's out. My only concern is that this week we have a new artist on the inside, Mike Henderson. So this is Wolverine versus Alpha Flight here. Dan Panasian is doing the cover. I don't know why they don't. Hey, pay him a little bit more. Let him do the interior art. Give this guy some more work. Marvel, quit being cheapskates. You don't have that Disney money. Alpha Flight versus Wolverine. It's Department H's premier strike team versus their most famous alum, as Wolverine throws down with Alpha Flight. If Logan can't reason with them, mutant lives are at stake. Solid Ahmed is not my first go-to, believe it or not. My first go-to when it comes like, he's writing a book, I gotta go check it out, because I tried to get into his Daredevil. That was horrendous, and he's did some other books in the past too, or just not up to my My likings now. For those of you who are bigger Claremont or Byrne, Wolverine, X-Men fans, you probably don't care for the newer stuff right now. And I can only imagine Wolverine's fought Alpha Flight like 50 billion times. At this point, I think he's fought everybody at least twice. Am I wrong, Breen?
No, you're not wrong.
Yeah. But so far, this has been. I read the one previous to this, and I might start. This is probably my jumping on plan. I'm gonna start reading some Wolverine books. I definitely gonna go back and read more of the back issues of his original ongoing series. But I want to check it out. Now I wish it wasn't $5 for 32 pages. That's the thing I don't like, because that extra dollar is going to Dan Panosian or Panosian Panel Vision. I call him all the time. But yeah, I do like the cover though. The cover is really cool. But and if this book turns out to be crappy, I'll just collect the covers through JPEG format. Of course, there is weird Kirby claws are back. This variant. I don't like this. This is a kind of a weird Wolverine. And this is Jeff Shaw, which I've never heard of him, but currently he's a Stormbreaker, so they're pushing him. For all I know, he could have been around for 20 years, just like Mitch Gerard. But it's okay. I like it. Not a big fan of the mask being that long and pointy. Maybe because of the angle of his head, that's why it looks that way. It just looks kind of weird. It looks like antenna. Almost like Ant-Man when he has his little antenna stick out. And I'm just sick that I'm bored to death. Bored to tears with Black Panther. He can go away. He can go back to Wakanda. But yeah. So that is that for this one. We got going in the chat. Hey Henry, how's it going? I love rain. You don't have to shovel rain. Well, when you get enough rain, you have to pump it out. That's why I have a backup pump. But yeah. Alrighty, so that is my number 5. Saladin Ahmed is the closest I'm going to get to Ryan North. I don't know if that's a good thing or if he's worse. My opinion, I think Ryan North is a worse writer. I think Saladin Ahmed is kind of like right behind Jen McKay in quality. All right. Number 4 for me this week, though, we're gonna drop down to a book that Jeremy Adams is leaving it, and I heard that Dan Abnett is gonna be picking it up, which I'm excited for. So I love Dan Abnett on Guardians of the Galaxy. You're putting him on a cosmic space book, I want more of it. And is it this far down? Yeah, Flash Gordon number 15. Dan Abnett is probably going to be taking us over, and not the next issue, but the issue after that. But I think it's next issue though. So we finally have. We're getting into almost a conclusion here. We have evil Flash Gordon versus the good Flash Gordon for all the cookies. The secrets of Mongol revealed. Flash Gordon versus Flash Gordon. Ming versus Ming. World versus world. It all comes to this. What Flash Gordon discovers in the tunnels beneath the Mingo City will change everything in the battle to come. But his evil counterpart is determined to beat him there. And with the help of 2 Dr. Zarkovs, Dark Flash has an edge. Will the 2 men and 2 worlds destroy each other when worlds collide? Jamie Adams and Eder Messias fulfill a Flash-tastic destiny in the final issue of this pulse-pounding arc. Yeah, so I guess Jeremy Adams is off this one after the next issue. I'm kind of to see Jeremy Adams go, but hey, Dan Abnett's taking over, and we got Manuel Garcia taking over for the next one. Man, is that enough to make you, Brian? I know you're buying comic books. Is this enough to make you come back and start pulling this?
No.
Dan Abnett's not a draw for you.
I'm out. I mean,
Yeah.
We'll make it any plainer than that.
Mm. You heard it here, folks. The man is out. They can't pull him back in. But yeah, I've just been having fun with this. I'm not a Flash Gordon fan. I'm the guy I've only watched a part of the movie where I see them. The Thanagarians are flying. They look like the flying monkeys from the Wizard of Oz, and I've seen the where Timothy Dalton sticks his hand inside the scorpion nest or whatever the hole. Other than that, I've never watched the entire movie before. I just never had no interest. I watched the television series, kind of like a reboot they did in the 2000s on Sci-Fi Channel. But other than that, I never really was a fan of this. The reason I picked this book up because it was Jeremy Adams, and I loved what he was doing on Green Lantern, and this was just like another story, just like that, almost in a sense. And it turned out to be really good. So that's cool. We had 15 issues of Jeremy Adams on the book. He's now he's off the book because he's now a DC exclusive. We're going to have Dan Abnett taking over, and honestly, if Dan Abnett, I hope he soars with this title and just makes it just so much better than anything else that's being put out at Marvel DC. Because I would love to have Dan Abnett on a book it's on the level of entertainment as Red Coat or anything over at Ghost Machine, you know. And yeah, Dan Abnett on Cosmic Book is always great. So this is cover B by Kyle Hotz, who I'm just not a fan of his stuff. Like, I love the detail on some of the stuff, but like the faces, Flash Gordon looks like he does not look like Flash Gordon. He looks like, I don't know way to describe it. His face looks too weird. Yeah, and the robot's a little lanky. But that is my number 4 for this week. Comments here. Flash Gordon movie from the 1980s is pure camp fun, said Marania. Yeah, I agree. It looked very camp, and the babes were babes. It just wasn't sold on the main guy as Flash Gordon. All right, going to my number 3 for this week though. It loads. Number 3 for this week. We got to scroll down because it's probably that far down there. Where is it? Archie, Army of Darkness. I was telling Marania a little bit about this, and it just looks fantastic. Look at this, Marania. She's never seen Army of Darkness, Bruce Campbell. Betty as a skeleton warrior along with Jughead. I'm loving this. And the little Archie is trying to stab his foot. Everything from the action movie just put in that Archie verse. And Archie with the chainsaw hand. This could end up being really groovy. All right. It's a teenage nightmare. There's a certain man named Ash. Housewares. Smart. You may have heard of him, who is doomed to battle against the forces of evil over and over again, whether he likes it or not. No matter where he goes, the cycle of violence always repeats itself until the day he arrives in the picturesque town of Riverdale. This silly, supernaturally wholesome community seems to break the curse that has plagued Ash ever since he first encountered its otherworldly evil all these years ago in the Necronomicon. Or rather, the curse that was broken until an over-curious teenager named Archie finds a copy of the Necronomicon Ex Mortis and reads a portion of it aloud, summoning the horrifying Deadites once again. Now Ash and the good townfolk of Riverdale must hold back the undead hordes long enough for Archie to undo what he's unwittingly done. Otherwise, an army of darkness will roll over Riverdale and destroy everything and everyone in its path. And that's just not going to happen on Ashley J. Williams' watch. Fresh face author Eric Burnham. If you don't know Eric Burnham, he did Saturday Morning Teenage TMT Adventures right now. We're reading on the channel. He's also worked on Ghostbusters, the IDW. So he's no stranger to like demons and ghosts and stuff. It's gonna be awesome. And he's joined by Wide-eyed artist Bill Galvin from Archie and Guardians of the Galaxy for a long night's journey into mayhem with Archie's ex, Army of Darkness #1, featuring clean-cut covers of Galvin. Or I guess he does his own cover. The other chair artist. It's nice. We have Robert Hack, Laura Brega, Craig Cermak, and Stuart Sager. In this premiere issue, all boasts a special premium mystery blind bag that contains 3 limited editions of each issue selected randomly from a range of variant covers exclusive to this offering, including 2 original covers by Galvin and Francesco Francavilla, as well as multiple line art variants and color blanks. Please note the number of blind bags is limited and all locations may occur. The only problem I have with that is a blind bag. If it's $20 freaking, shops are not going to get it because no one wants to spend that amount of money and then also open up the bag and find out the book is ruined and it's not worth crap. But overall, let's look at the covers here. So this is the main cover again. And alrighty. And then we have this is Bill Galvin. This is the interior artist. This is what art's going to look like inside the book. So I already like the fact that Ash does look like Ash. Archie looks like Archie. Betty Veronica's Deadites. Now they really want a piece of Archie. And then, of course, we have the Laura Brega cover. Kind of a throwback to that Archie, it was a 2015 or 2016 series where they it was a new Riverdale kind of series. I remember that. I can't remember what it was called though, but yeah, it was just like it was kind of the style art.
It was Mark Waid.
Mark Waid, yeah.
Fiona Staples, I think, was the artist.
Yeah. So kind of getting the call back to that a little bit. Craig Cermak, who is no stranger. This. I love this. The Bruce Campbell, like if you can get the Bruce Campbell face, to me, you're a great artist. And if you can get that, I don't care if you don't interior. Like, oh, that's kind of cool. All right, and there's Stuart Sager. So who wants to be the first to sign my yearbook? Archie. I love it. There's the blank cover. Yay. I gotta say, I love the fact that we don't have freaking Fred Van Lente on this book. That would have killed any interest I would have had in this series. The fact that you actually put on a decent writer on this who respects the actual anything he does. Like I said, Eric Burnham does the Saturday morning adventures for the TMNT Turtles. Pays attention to detail. It literally feels like the actual cartoon I watched as a kid. Same with Ghostbusters. He's just so much attention to detail. So I think we're gonna have fun with this. This is the mystery bag cover, or I guess what's gonna look like on the outside. Yeah. This is the cover you could get inside the blind bag or the cover. Then there's a metal version variant. And this regular Virgin variant, black and white. These are I don't like it. It's a cover like 1 in 10s. Like I never understood the appeal of these. But more Virgin variants. Yeah, so they are. But overall, I think this would be I think this is going to turn out to be an actual really good book. All right. We're going to go over to my number 2 for this week. Afterlife with Archie vibes. I agree, Summer. That was my number 3 choice. I'm going to my number 2 book of the night. Just waiting for it to load. Come on. Loading. It really doesn't want to load. But how's it going, Summer Sonar? What the heck is with this thing? It doesn't want to load, brain. I love when my internet just starts to scroll real slow for some reason. If I can get it, go back. I apologize. There's technical difficulties here for some reason. I'm gonna if I start screen sharing for a second. Do. Yeah, for some reason my internet is crapping out on me right now, which is really making me mad. It doesn't want to load it. It could be League of Comgates. It could be my internet. So, well, while I wait for that to load, I'll put myself back on there, and then we can talk a little bit. Yeah, I'm just waiting for it to load right now. It's just there it goes. Finally goes. Okay, now I'll take myself back out there. We'll do this again. Apologize for that. But real quickly, look at the comments there. If I see if I missed anything. Jughead's hat on the main cover towards the bottom. Yes, that was him. He was a skeleton on the left side, and Betty had the sword. And hello, to anybody else that might have popped in. I didn't say hello to. All right, we'll go back here. Let's remove myself. All right. Number 2 for this week is DCKO Boss Battle number 1. And well, if you can just look at the cover from here, if you can just zoom in a little bit. And there it goes. All right. It says, to save our world, they must battle the champions of other worlds. Unexpected fighters from beyond the DC universe enter the arena. Wait, what? Who? Why is the Hulk? And how? As the remaining champions in the DCKO tournament prepare for the final rounds, they discover that there isn't enough Omega energy or Milky Way bars left. They crown the winner a king, Omega. To have any hope of stopping Darkseid, they'll need to engage in combat with the champions of other worlds beyond our own, including Annabelle, Homelander, Sub-Zero, and more. This shocking star-studded crossover sets the stage for the final chapters of the epic DCKO event and features matchups you'll never imagine possible. The ultimate battle is only beginning. So as you can see on the cover here, we've got some Mortal Kombat. We got Sub-Zero. We got Scorpion. We got Batwoman. We have Star Sapphire, Static Shock. Or, sorry, not Static Shock, but Black Lightning, Wonder Woman, Red Sonja, Plastic Man, Lex Luthor, Vampirella, Red Sonja, Superman, Homelander, Sabrina the Teenage Witch, Annabelle from that boring Conjuring movie. We got from the something Beneath the Trees or something like that. One of the characters on there. And then we have Joker too as well. Jeremy Adams is going to be writing this. So that's one reason I'm really picking this up. Some of the variants here. There's like, so we get Homelander versus Superman. Derek Robertson, who is no stranger to The Boys with Garth Ennis. Bring him coming back and giving a cover here. It's Adams and Giomenico, who basically was working with him on the Flash book for a while. Gonna do the interior. There he goes. Yeah, this is yours. Kind of weird.
Is that Boris the Bear?
No, that's from the Beneath the Trees, whatever, or Final Beneath the Trees. It's a book a couple years ago, 3 or 4 years ago. Angleton was all excited about this book. He was trying to sell it on an auction. It's about a bear and it's framed for murder or murders people, kind of like Dexter or something. Something weird like that. Frank Cho variant with Derby Bats, Vampirella, Sabrina, Red Sonja, and Wonder Woman.
Now, how do they get to use all these characters?
I do not know. That's the one Red Sonja is privately owned by this couple. Archie, I think Archie right now is hurting for money. Like I said, they just got picked up by Oni Press, so maybe they made a deal before this to feature their characters. Because Sabrina is an Archie character property. And Vampirella, I don't know if that's a Dynamite thing, so I don't know. But like I said, it's Jeremy Adams. I'm glad they have Jeremy Adams writing this, because anyone else would have just made this like a just boring book. We got you got your Jeffrey spoke, so yeah. Red Sonja looks a little different though on that cover though. Wowza. Yeah, I don't care for Mortal Kombat, honestly. But I think this is the wraparound. It is a wraparound variant. A lot of the characters, and then we have Gleb Mavkov. This is the AEW variant with MJF versus Lex Luthor. I don't remember MJF looking like Frank Grillo. Yeah. Here's, I guess, yeah, this is the same thing over again. This is the foil version. They're gonna have this. The blank run. Yeah, so what we got here? 40 pages for $5. We got Carmine D. Jimico, GN Medical, Ronan Kuke, Kieran McMccohen, and Pablo M. Collar, all doing the taking turns on pages of the art. Now we got Tom Napolitan doing the lettering. So this actually might be really good. And the main cover is done by Jamie Campbell or Jamal Campbell. So here's all your characters. We're gonna have Gorilla Grodd here too. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. That's the name of the book. I can remember what it was. Yeah. Shang Tsung, Vampirella, World Forager. We're also going to have the Absolute Universe in here too as well. Absolute Batman, Absolute Superman, and Absolute Wonder Woman, and Booster Gold, who I thought previously was possessed by Darkseid. But so definitely checking this out. Normally I wouldn't check this stuff out but I like Jeremy Adams. We're going to support him. We got Archie Comics, we got Dynamite, and we got a New Line Cinema. So, it looks like Nordstrom, but yeah, that is my number 2 for this week. Yeah, the KO Omnibus actually will probably be 2 of them for how much crap they got in there. Unfortunately, like I'm just like when it came to Civil War. I hated Civil War, but I like the tie-ins. So it's if you like everything, it's great though. But a killer teddy bear, yes. I knew you'd like that. Okay, what's up? I wouldn't be curious. I wouldn't be shocked if MK goes out and picks it up this week. He's like, I gotta check this out. Annabelle's in there, so he's like, hell yeah. Mortal Kombat. Number 1 book though for me, I'm really recommend you guys pick up if you have it. It is DCKO Night Fight, issue 4 of 4. Final issue. Batman was knocked out in the first round of DCKO, and he basically had an apocalypse armor on it, which allowed him to basically escape from being killed, or wherever they go when they die. So and because he cheated, the what do you call it, the Omega Heart or whatever it's called, Apocalypse Heart, has been trying to basically tempt him, and stuff, into giving in, throwing him from different worlds, which I really like. This we got to see a future version of not only of Dick Grayson but of Jason Todd, both as Batman. Now, Jason Todd, I was more excited for, because I would always wonder what it would be like if Jason Todd gave up being Red Hood and became Batman, and he was kind of like a Red Hood version Batman. It was really cool. That was an issue 2, and yeah. So in this one, he finds out that Damian, in this universe, there is no crime. Gotham is basically just like Metropolis. The crime is gone. Damian has a son, and Damian himself says, "Hey, I know I'm not a real thing. This is all created by the thing." But he's like, but Bruce, like, can you really write us off in all without saying hello to your grandson? So so here's my big thing is this. Josh Williams says that Damian's not gay whatsoever, so you can't say that bullshit that he's gay, because he has a son. All right. For Batman to win, does Damian have to lose? Bruce Wayne became Batman to strike terror in the hearts of criminals, but he never imagined a world where Gotham City would be so safe it no longer needs its Caped Crusader. But when he arrives in Gotham, where Damian achieved that very peace, will Bruce destroy everything his son has built, overcome the heart of Apocalypse test, and re-enter the KO tournament? So here's my prediction. We know that Superman's going to die somewhere at the end of the tournament, probably, but based on what they're doing, replacing with Superboy Prime. I wonder if it's going to be Batman who saves the day. That would be interesting. Now, and some people may not like that, but hey, Batman has always been my favorite character out of the Justice League. He seems like the guy who could probably save the day. He's smart. He's very adaptable and a survivalist, and like I said, he's smart. So, but we'll find out. But overall, this is the cover A. He's got the little robot stuff too. And I love that Damian still has the Batman costume, but he also carries a sword with him too. And this is a Chris Burnham cover. And then we have Yasmin Putri. Here we have the Jason Todd Batman. All the Batmans. Damian, Tim, and then we also have Dick and Jason Todd, yeah. Dustin again variants. So this has been my favorite out of all the tie-ins, because this is basically this we're getting Josh Williamson and Dan Mora, who I love having them basically on a title together, because you know it's going to look good and the story is going to be good. So this is my number one pick of the week. Yeah. Where's the Wuzzy Winks guy whose superpowers only work sometimes? I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know anybody who is a super impotent. But all right. But if you have any questions as far as what books you want to see other, let me know in the chat. We're gonna go back to the books here, and then probably go into the trades real soon once my page loads. What was it? See here. Never say never. Something might fall out of the sky. Oh yeah, Ronnie said the Superman and Spider-Man crossover reprint is the second one. They included Hulk and the Wonder Woman. Yep, that's one of the trades that's also on the cover too, of the thumbnail. But yeah. If you guys have any books you want me to look at, I'll just kind of casually just scroll by them. We have Absolute Superman coming out this week. We have by Jason Aaron, Batman by number 6 by Matt Fraction, Absolute Green Lantern, Chris Condon on Ultimate Wolverine, number 14, Ultimate Endgame, number 2 by Denise Camp. Joe Kelly, I think it is, still doing the Amazing Spider-Man. And Kenny X-Men with some more monsters stuff. I think that's the Gail Simone run. I'm not sure. We got Batgirl, Poison Ivy, Avengers, with a really looking weird cover. That's John McKay. Spawn is out this week. JSA, number 16, Jeff Lemire. Department of Truth is still going on. issue 35. Then we have Shadows Tomorrow event, which is basically they're going to, that's the new one after Age of Apocalypse. Shadows of Tomorrow is the new one. And it's going to go through March. So you got that one. Batman Beyond, or Batman Sad Beyond. It sounded good. I read the first issue, but then it really started leaning into more of like a virtue signal, kind of like just the same bad tropes. And just like people protesting because they don't like something. I was like, I'm done with the protest in comic books. I'm sick of it in real life. I don't want to see it in comic books. We're done with that bullshit. Let's just write an actual good story. And it's just, yeah. Even Batman, even Terry McGinnis was written out of character a little bit too. But all right, we have the Nice House by the Lake, or actually by the sea. So I guess that James Tynion is doing a spinoff. Nova Centurion is out right now. Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider, Storm, Earth Minus Mutant, Logan Black Going Blood, The Walking Dead, number 130, Sonic the Hedgehog, which is a really good series. Although I'm concerned though because I see a kid in there. I do not like when humans interact with the hedgehogs. The only one human exception should be Dr. Eggman. Storage is going to be coming back with issue number 48. We got Spirits of Violence number 5, Twilight Zone by Nate Powell or something like that. I didn't know there even was a Twilight Zone book out, but I guarantee it's nothing like the original ones, Gold Key or Dell. Seven Sword of Conan, number 12 is out this week too. I think that this is a reprint, or it's not a reprint. It might be continuing on the magazine because they were doing those. Load. We'll wait for it to load. Godzilla Infinity War. The Marvel, they're really upset with Godzilla for some reason. Now the Turtles have Godzilla stuff too. Is there a Godzilla thing coming up? Because we got 3 Godzilla books in a row here. All right. Yeah, Star Sword is basically a cataclysmic Conan story from writer Chris Ryle and artist Gabriel Rodriguez, a twisting Bran Mac Morn prose tale from Fabian Nastasia, and return of El Borak, from writer Patrick Zurcher and artist Mirko Kolak. Captain colors from Adrian Smith and Jeff Ershwood, plus art pinups and more. Savage Sword of Conan. Issue 12 closes out its second year in sword swinging style. 64 pages for $7. These are the black and white books. These have been really good. Back to the magazine style. So we got the main cover, and then we have the Jeff Ershwood cover variant. And there, all right, we've got a foil variant, which I'm not a fan of that. And there's a virgin variant. Not really great for the pink covers, but it's okay. It is what it is. Get the trades here. There is I want to talk about this book here once it loads. Orc number 1. I saw this was coming out, and I was curious as far as what was going to be. Come on, load. Come on, come on, come on. This is a new jumping on book for Image. Armed with nothing but magical yet ambitiously violent shield, a lonely orphan stumbles headfirst into Sunderain's never-ending war between the light and dark elves versus orcs, wizards versus common sense, dragons versus literary Elverland, and caught dead center is Dork. The wholly inconvenient doomsday prophecy, the half-dwarf, half-orc, all dork, is evaded to end the world. Soon every human, elf, goblin, dwarf, snargle-tooth, necroid, ice giant, trauma llama, and at least 3 other unpronounceable magical creatures will know his name and want him dead. There will also be a chicken. So, fan favorite artist Brett Bean from I Hate Fairyland, Dungeon Crawler, and Carl the Crocodile. Colorist Gene Francis Biello from I Hate Fairyland, and letterer Nate Pickles from Minor Threats. So, high fantasy romp, perfect for fans of Conan, Lord of the Rings, and of course, Gert's deadpan humor. $3 for 24 pages, or basically $3.99. I do recommend this. This actually looks really cool. It could actually be a decent book. Here's the Jorge Corona cover B. Then we got the Jason Howard. And this is Ryan Otley wraparound variant. Ryan Stegman does a 1 in 50 with a chicken. Nice. Of course, I got these. I hate these covers, the blank covers. East Coast Comics exclusive. And the Comic Shop, Pressel's Comic Shop. And then Ryan Brown Virgin variants. This is his Lab Lucis Comics. Gracie Zulo variant from Tel Comics. And That Boy Crisp, Jesse Lundberg, makes Spider-Man 300 homage. What the heck? So, and for those fans, I guess if you like I Hate Fairyland, this is probably right up your alleyway. I think that was Undead Quinn that was buying that. So that was coming out too. And then we have reprint filing. The original one is like $49 or $50 right now, I saw, for Raw. And this is like 64 pages for $18. And it is the original oversized one, including with all the ads, whatever was in it. 2 heroes, 2 legends, together at last. Dr. Doom has sought long to rule the world with a parasite's help. Project Omega might very well even lay the earth at his feet. Can the reunited Superman Spider-Man uncover the Latvarian monarch's plan before the planet pays the price? Maybe with a little help from Wonder Woman and the Incredible Hulk. So we get the normal cover here. And there's even a Brian Boland variant. Now, I know most people don't like variants, but it's Brian Boland, and this is the original cover. It looks very. And now the main cover is John Romita Jr. or Senior, I believe. But I do like how it looks a little bit cleaner. I'm not a fan of Superman's face, but I love Doom, and Parasite looks really awesome in this. And then here is foil. You're gonna have a foil version of this, and then there's a blank one here. I think it's just stupid. So that's coming out this week. I do recommend it. This is a Marvel Treasury edition, number 28. Yeah, from 1981. Definitely pick it up because I don't have either one of those. And then Superman Chains of Love is coming out this week too. Not a fan of that. DC versus AEW, number 1. If it wasn't Steve Orlando, I'd be definitely getting this book because I'm an AEW fan. I would love this kind of check it out. Even though I think kind of wrestling and comic books should never mix, whether it's WWE or whatever. I don't like John Cena appearing in that Scooby-Doo movie. I thought that was dumb. But this could be good. Solid Ahmed proved that he can write, at least enough to entertain me. Maybe Steve Orlando will do this, but this might be a book I preview online before I even decide to even pick it up, because I will not blind buy books anymore. You know, Thunder the Barbarian by Jason Aaron is coming out this week too as well through Dynamite. That is $5 for number one. I think it should not be $5. These books should be starting off at $3.99 if anything. You know, and then if they want to jump the price up, they can, but only after they prove that the book actually is worth buying it. Vampirella by Christopher Priest should not be $5 because you have Christopher Priest on there. That should be down to $2. Actually, can't pay me enough to it. Christopher Priest is a horrible writer these days. Of course, Teen Titans Go, number 12. Love is in the Air, a Valentine's special. So you know what that means. Next Monday, Teen Titans Go comes back. And then we also got Gargoyles with Darkwing Duck crossover finally happened over in Dynamite. Then Night City is all this like this week too as well. And of course, you get Avatar, Rick and Morty, and then some other variant stuff. Keen Spot, which I can never find any books, but they are having. Looks like it's a hot girl on the cover, so I'm sure Jeff will get it. And then Werewolf, I've never heard of that. That's in Mad Cave, and a lot of variants. So, all right, on to trades. Well, summer, the idea with those covers, those are ones you take to conventions and have your favorite artist draw something on it. It could be anything you want. It doesn't even have to be whatever it's on the title. A lot of times, Frank Joe will take those covers and he'll draw a lot of cool, fun stuff on there. But, yeah. All right, so we have Absolute Batman Volume 2 coming out this week, along with Batman the White Knight Compact, which is for $10. I do recommend this. Harley is Sean Murphy Gordon, or Sean Gordon Murphy? I think it's, yeah. That was a really fun book. Absolute Power, definitely do not recommend. That was just dumb. I do like Mark Waid, and I love Dan Mora, but the whole event with Amanda Waller, I'm done with that. Unless you had a bucket of chicken randomly put in there, then I would recommend to book it. But just like this Amanda Waller is just dumb, and it's just based at the point where Amanda Waller was better in the John Oster Suicide Squad. I do not like her in current day DC. And then we have Jeff Johns where he says, you know what? We're just going to do Krypton now. Forget the 30 years of awesomeness. Yeah, the new Krypton Saga Omnibus, Volume 1 hardcover, collecting those early 2000s books.
Yeah, it was like 2008, 2009, and
yep,
I absolutely hated it when it came out.
Greg Ruck is on there too. Yeah, and it's just like,
I just didn't. I'm with you. I said I didn't want the post-crisis Superman to be undone, but it was that was basically the last, the final nail in Byrne, Wolfman, and Stern's coffin was this story.
Honestly, for me, it felt like that's the end of DC.
Well, it wasn't, because at the time they were doing everything well but Superman. It was sort of like at Marvel. They're screwing up Spider-Man, but doing everything else well. DC was screwing up Superman and doing everything else well. But man, I hated this.
Yeah. New 52 was only a couple years after this. Yeah.
Yeah, New 52 wasn't any better, but
no. Wonder Woman Campbell's Soup Edition.
Yeah.
Enter the Cheetah. That's $40. And if you don't like that, you can go for the John Byrne Epic Collection from Fantastic Four.
Wow, Wonder Woman, Enter the Cheetah. A bunch of weirdo shippers just got really excited.
The original Cheetah, not Barb like we know it. Hashtag justice for Barb. All right, and then so $55. That's the new Epic Collection price now. $55 instead of 50.
Yeah, but that's John Byrne's run, so at least it's worth it.
It's hasn't already been collected before.
Well, there've been Byrne omnibuses, but eventually the Epic collections are going to get through everything. But if you don't have, if this is go pop that open and see what issues that is.
It's a 200s. I think it is.
I know that. That's 20. That's the cover to 20.
But it also had some Tanya issues.
43. I don't know if it starts at the Burn Runner before it or.
Loading. Just stare at the blank screen, everybody. He'll be there eventually. Frank Joe Jaws on them and their reverence in your circle, yeah. Summer, you've been reading all the Golden Age stuff. You're just talking about you've been reading a lot of that stuff. So I don't know if you have like a digital collection or you actually have like the omnibuses for Wonder Woman. I don't know how you're reading those, but yeah. So this is Fantasy 4 232 through 248. Then this is the other something running list. And what would be better that you have this? Let's put in Fred Hembeck. Yeah. Fantastic Four's roasts. No one needs that. No one. And then material from What If, number 36. I'm not sure what If 36 is.
I don't remember either, but that seems like it doesn't seem like a lot of issues for a Epic collection.
496.
I mean, there's usually that's what 19 issues.
Yeah.
And then some oddball shit that nobody cares.
So is there getting like 18 issues in this? 17, 18? And then it has the What If in his forehead not gained their superpowers. That's the What If is. There's issue 1, but they came back without their powers. So I don't know. It's Darwin Cook's The Complete Spirit Connoisseur edition, hardcover.
Connoisseur.
Yeah. The Croissant edition.
Yeah.
Curious because I mean, this has been collected before too, but I mean, I'm just curious what this has. Immerse yourself in the noir world of Darwin Cook's spirit, now collected in one place for the first time in his oversized collectible edition. Wow, everything. Masterful storytelling and flair for noir style. Darwin Cook was uniquely suited to reintroduce Will Eisner's beloved comics creation, The Spirit, to modern audiences. Now Darwin's Spirit comic stories are collected in their entirely for the first time in his oversized hardcover collection, presented with a beautiful slipcase designed by Sean Phillips. Fuck yeah, Sean Phillips, awesome. And who also oversaw the Eisner-winning Richard Stark's Parker, the Martini edition, Last Call, to which this book is a companion in size and scope. J. Bone Cooks and a longtime collaborator provides an introduction. Also, there's definitive edition version of Cooks is a gallery featuring all the covers, 2 variant covers from a Rocketeer Spirit crossover, and several never before seen drawings. Collects Spirit 1 through 6, 8 through 12, Batman Spirit one shot. So, what the hell's in 7 that we can't see? They don't collect it. Was 7 a guest writer? That is weird. But $100 for 324 pages. So you're paying $100 more or $50 more for less pages versus the Epic collection, which is $55. And like has over like, yeah. Huh. Darwin Cook's the one that passed away?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's the one that, or is he the one that worked on Static? Or am I thinking someone else?
No, it's Dwayne McDuffie.
Dwayne McDuffie. Okay, I always get those two confused. So that's coming out this week. Hey, look, the Sentry Omnibus. And apparently, Sentry is coming back with a miniseries or a one-shot. Paul Jenkins is returning in March.
Well, at least it'll be the right Sentry this time.
I see what you did there.
What?
It almost feels like it was a century ago when they did the
No, that's it. The last time she was a lesbian of color in a wheelchair. It was like they took every virtue signal they could cram into one character and made that the Sentry.
Creepy presents Bernie Wrightson's trade for $25. Then we have look, new champions. Blech. The only Sentry I like is American Sentry. And not the insurance. Or it's good. Teen Titans Go Home, Go Big or Go Home. That is the first 6 issues. We've already read this on the channel. This is the current ongoing series. Hey, look, Lumberjanes. Blech. Supergirls, Superheroes, Crypto's Big Break. Oh shit, he's holding a Batman mask. He better run. Marvel Fanfare is out. There's volume 2. Got an Eerie Archives volume 13. FBB or FBP, which is a book that came out in 2006, a long time ago, and it's finally being, I guess again, not right. It's just a 2006 26 edition. Here's the other Marvel Fanfare cover. Arthur Adams direct market variants, and Damsel from Distress trade. This is coming through Mad Cave and the Smurfs Archives Mad Cave. Yeah, and that's it for this week. And hold on a second. I don't know why it's not showing it. Getting an error. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, just 1 second here. Let me go back in. So let me yeah, that was weird. So I got a held message from whatever Summer was trying to post. It wouldn't let me approve it. It kept saying error. So, oh yeah, he's making fun of the whole lesbian and wheelchair thing. Alrighty then. All right. Let's see what's going on in the chats here. The original cover looks like a painted one. I think you're talking about the Superman, Spider-Man one. But I believe it is John Romita Sr. on that cover.
What about on what?
The Superman, Spider-Man number 2.
Don't think it is. It's a painted cover. I don't think it's Romita.
Or is Romita doing the interior?
No, the John Buscema did the interior.
Marvel Treasury 20. I have to look it up.
And it really was the original cash grab. Other than that, it had Superman, Spider-Man, the same comic, and a Wonder Woman and a Hulk scene. It literally paled in comparison to the first one. But at the time, there had only been either one or two others. I can't remember if that came out before the Batman and Hulk crossover. Either way, like I said, it's fun history now, but it wasn't, it was a letdown after the first one.
The original one was $2.50. Yeah, it's that Blake copy. It's the cover artist is John Romita Sr. with Bob Larkin.
Oh, I didn't. Oh, okay, that makes sense. I know Larkin was a painter.
Yeah, so he might have. I think Romita might have drew it first, and Larkin just kind of painted over it.
That would make sense, actually.
Yeah. So paint my numbers. Jumbo Summer cover is yeah. So the one is there. The main cover, the cover A is Ramita. The second one, the variant was a Brian Boland. Now I'm reading Uncle Man, Challenge of the Unknown. Yeah. In a parallel, I'm also having a blast straight into the July 1958. Cool. I read a Golden Age 3 Wonder Woman trades, 5 Superman trades, DC Finest, JSA, Plastic Man, and the one you recommended. It was superb. Nice. I've also finished them. I'm out of the Golden Age. Which one did I recommend? I recommend these every week, so I was just curious which one you're talking about. Was it the World's Finest one you're thinking about? Which was the Mark Waid one? Because that's been a fun series. Kind of catch up here on some chats. FPP is a fun vertical read, says Undead Quinn. And hello, Undead Quinn. It's been a while since you've seen you on the channel here. What else we got here? Time travel story. I want to hear what's the comic to buy this week, according to Breen. Did you? Oh well, Breen. Yeah, I read up all the books. Was there a book you said you would probably pick up if you had didn't have to worry about money or anything, or just interest? Piqued your interest? Nothing.
Nah.
Okay, well, let's put it this way. Let's pretend you had a gun to your head. Which one would you grab to save your life?
Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon. Okay.
I mean, if I could limit myself to Flash Gordon, Dick Tracy, and Space Ghost, I would. But I always,
yeah.
Like I said, I have an addictive personality. I can't limit myself to that. Then I start getting things around me. So
this is the guy who books I have. I always have more books than anybody here.
I'm able to get the occasional trade without. I got the Brubaker book without, the floppy without getting a bunch of other stuff. And that's. But I honestly, I don't miss them either.
Here's the thing: when I quit comics for 4 years, I didn't miss them either. And if I really wanted to read them, I had the pirate. I think what I wanted to. But then again, I would look online on some of the pirate sites to check in to see what was going on because I hated New 52. And every time I checked in, they're still doing New 52. I was like, hey, I'm not going back. Now I still had back issues I was reading, but I just wasn't going to the comic book store. And I kind of felt bad. It was like when you go to a place and then you show up about 4 or 5 years later and you're like, oh, hey guys, sorry for ghosting you.
I gotta admit, and recently, the whole ICE debate has shown how disgusting a lot of comic pros are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting real tired of seeing Ron Mars and Jimmy Palmiotti bitching on X.
Yeah, it's not like true. If you're on social media and you see all this stuff, it will change your opinion.
It's just, but it also, and as far as the what DC and Marvel let their creators get away with in and out of the books, I just don't want to read them anymore. Even the good ones, I just don't. And I said, I maybe I'll go back and get the trades on Dick Tracy, but I mean, I have 2 issues of Flash Gordon that my friend gave me. I haven't read them. I mean, they're free. They're 4 feet away from me. I haven't bothered to read it.
Well, you kind of went into the crime novels,
right?
Like stuff. So we're kind of really enjoying those.
I read books now, so and I read. I said I finished I'll read the Doom Patrol when I get it.
Yeah.
Like when I was reading the Green Lantern, I was reading. I would take a break from whatever book I was reading to read an issue of Green Lantern every night.
Yeah, it says Undead Quinn saying I have none this week. I cut back a lot. I cancel your polls before you quit.
I've never had pulls.
No, yeah. Brain worked
Never
actually
done
at a comic book stop or at least new people, and he would just walk in and just grab. Like I don't have a pull list. My pull list is on here. Is my personal private thing. I don't go to actually have a shop and be like, hey, you're gonna pick up my books. I don't do that. I've never really been one of those people, because that's how I also limit myself too. If it's not there, it's sold out. I don't have to worry about it.
I had decades. I mean, I was in the hobby for decades before pull list became a thing. I just never switched over.
It's the thing. It's first come, first serve. If it's not there, if it's something I really want, I'll ask, hey, can you pull this aside for me this week? Or if I can't make it, 'cause I'm out of town. The few times the past couple years I've gone to Chicago with my sister, I'd call them up. They'd be like, hey, dude, can you pull this? I'm gonna be gone out of town for this. And he's like, cool. And I pick it up on Thursday. But I've never been the person's like, I have to have a pull list. And then, because my thing is I would feel bad if I don't show, and all of a sudden I have 6 weeks of pull lists. And that's how you really piss off your comic book shop. So I never did that. Plus, I like being able to browse, looking at stuff to see what's okay, maybe it's a title that's on my pull list, and then I don't see it there, and I just so I love browsing the shelves too, and it allows me a chance to go through the back shelves too and everything. So I don't know. I just never been into the pull list stuff really. Now there are people who do that. Now that I understand, there's reasons for it, but it's just not my thing either. But Henry's saying if I had a gun to my head, I'd pick the Fantasy IV Epic Collection, even though I already have original books, but better than being iced.
Did you see Aaron's last post?
No, it did not.
Date night. We're off the hook. Date night. Let's talk more book. That's the best thing to come up with on the fly.
So you're saying that you can't wait till tomorrow night. It was just you and him.
Well, thanks for killing that buzz, fuckface.
Hey, yeah, is date night with the wife and then date night with the work life.
I wish this were like that Japanese TV movie, like Ringu or whatever. I can just reach into the computer and grab your neck and just snap it.
Like Homer Simpson. Why are you little?
That's what I'd be doing right now.
I gotta say it is nice though to sit out some of the cover rankings, because there's ones I really don't so care for, and my thing is I like having with all of us there, on Sundays.
Yeah, I'm kind of trying
if it's not a
steer
book
him in that direction.
If it's not a book I'm interested in, really excited about, like super bright comic books, maybe
Those
90s,
were
sure,
way better than I thought they were going to be, though.
Yeah,
I thought they'd be because they were. Yeah, since Kevin McGuire was the artist, they were a lot like that. Either McGuire, I think it was McGuire or Templeton trying to do McGuire, but they looked like Justice League covers, kind of. So I didn't mind those. I was expecting to hate them, but
the Justice League International books covers were better than those.
Well, yeah, because all the characters were on them, but I expected it to be now, and you're going to argue, but I'm right on this. If that art had been 5 times as bad, but had a Venkman or an Egon on it, you'd have had your hand down your pants, giving them all 10s. So,
honestly, there'd
have been turtles on there. You'd have been 10 and up.
Listen, that's this. I love Daddy Do comic books, but I'm not a fan of the Egon and all stuff. Their looks, because that was purposely done because they didn't have a license to show their faces.
Yeah,
so.
but if
they're on the cover though, I'm still getting that cover 5 though. What I like is the monsters drawn by Dan Schoening. Everything else was really cool. And I'm also a little more biased too.
It wasn't the waste of time I thought it would be. Because
No.
the only cover I've ever seen is that photo cover. I thought, God, they probably all are photos. I didn't know.
It's a photograph. Well, here's my thing. I don't want fake Superboy. I want the real Superboy. Give me
Look, for some inexplicable reason, Jay has become obsessed with that series.
I'm just glad that he found something,
I guess.
I don't know if it's going to hold him back though, but he found something.
Yeah. You should join us tomorrow night, by the way.
I can't. I'm reading
At 10:30?
with the girls. I am reading offline, and then I have one at midnight.
Well, I know you want at midnight, but yeah,
So usually that break is when I usually have like my dinner or whatever.
we're picking out individual comic issues that we really liked, and so it's not we don't do covers anymore, so that helps.
Yeah, I don't know. I said like the Superboy covers. I'm not a huge Kevin Maguire fan, so I really didn't like them compared to some of the better artists I've seen on Superman in the post-crisis era, or even in the Silver Age.
I'm not sure there was any better artist than Kevin Maguire. If you like his style, which I do.
I am not a fan of his style. I'm not saying it's bad as like Bone. It's just I didn't like that style he did with Superboy.
Anyway,
yeah.
Those have to agree that I have taste, you don't, and
well, you like pineapple on pizza. I don't like pineapple on pizza. This is the way it is.
Well, I'm not repulsed by it, but I'm not a fan of things that shouldn't be there. So if I'm going to have a pizza, I want my toppings to be not sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even like sweet potatoes.
I hate sweet potatoes.
I know some people can mix that shit. I can't. I said I like my sweets to be sweet and my not sweets to be not sweet, and
so plus also gives me an excuse to sit out on some of these cover rankings, which I do like having a chance to sit out sometimes.
No, I know. I envy you that. So I'm just saying Wednesday nights, at least we're not doing covers. We're doing comic related things, which I don't mind doing.
Before all this, before Wes started stealing my videos, I was OG CG.
Okay. I'm like Tom Brady after the mother tackles him. I don't miss that.
Blame Canada for a pineapple on pizza. Apparently that's what you're been told by Undead Quinn.
I was answering that in Canadian.
Oui. Yeah.
Hey.
I guess so, eh?
Hey, guess what I found out existed last night?
French toast?
Oh no, I've been aware of that for a long time. Just look at my gut. I've been reading Mike Shane novels.
Yeah.
And I know I've got hundreds of those magazines in the garage. I'm probably going to have to pay Phil's brother-in-law's son to dig them out, but that's neither here nor there. But
yeah.
And I know there was a series of movies in the 40s with a guy named Lloyd Nolan who I really like.
Okay.
But I found out there was a TV series in 1960.
Wow.
And
one season?
I think it was one season. Tubi doesn't have it. What I have doesn't have it. But YouTube has about 10 episodes. And the one I looked up, I was two of the guest stars. I had no idea who the regular cast was. I kind of know the guy who played Mike Shane, but two of the guest stars were people that one of them was in the Night Stalker movie, and one of the other ones was a guy who used to be in all kinds of westerns, but ended up being a big soap guy on one of the soaps I watched in college. So it was pretty cool. And it wasn't nearly as grainy as I thought it would be for 65 years. I'm excited about that because I was reading a Mike Shane novel, and I saw something that said, I was looking up, see how many there were, and they mentioned a TV show, and I didn't know there was one.
That's cool.
Cool my camera show with Darren McGavin, but it's still
right. All right. Yeah. I'm trying to think what I'm watching right now. I've been watching more anime now, which is really not normal. It's not normal for me. There's not really much I'm watching. Slow Horses, I'll probably get around to it, but I'm moving slowly towards it. What's your name? Right? Morania just
To a night manager today.
okay.
You're seeing the first season from like it was like 10 years ago. It was the guy that played Loki.
Oh yeah, Tom
the guy that was House on the TV show.
Hugh Laurie.
Yeah, Hugh Laurie was the villain, and Olivia Colman was on there. And she might be the best actress in the world, and I'm not kidding. Really? She's not pretty, and in that first season, she was pregnant AF, and that wasn't part of the character, but she was so good they had her on there. But I think she's great. But yeah, God, that show is good. I forgot how good it was.
Nice. Yeah. I'm trying to think of Marnie was talking about a movie called I think it's called Shark, or no, TV series called Shark with John Bean. She's saying I need to check that out.
I finished Wonder Man yesterday. Man, it's definitely a recommend for me.
If you like non-superhero shows.
Well, no, it's if you need it to be a superhero show, you're going to be disappointed. If you want, it's a show that could fit in anywhere. I mean, it doesn't feel like an MCU show. It doesn't feel like a Marvel show. If you didn't know who Wonder Man was or hadn't seen Iron Man 3, and they didn't have the Marvel in front of it, you'd never know.
Yeah.
It was just a unique show. Yeah, they didn't mention any other Marvel characters, so there weren't any other. As far as I can tell, there were no Easter eggs. I mean, it is as standalone as it gets.
Wow.
And it's not going to be for everybody.
Well, that's how I kind of feel like about with Luke Cage.
But Luke Cage used villains from the comics.
When I watched the show, I had not read a single comic.
Yeah,
but when I watched it though, it didn't feel like a superhero show. It felt like
it didn't. I loved it. But I loved Iron Fist. I mean, I'm in that minority. I really wanted to see season 3 because I thought that was going to end up. I really think the plan was by the end of season 3, Luke and Danny were going to come together, and that was going to be season 4 was the two of them together. I would have loved to have seen a season of that.
Yeah, but what was it? What was the name of the guy that he was with though? Harry? No, it wasn't Harry. What was it?
Harold?
Harold?
Harold Meacham.
Harold Meacham, yeah. Yeah. Meacham was. Yeah,
I can never remember if Rand was the son or if Harold was the son. But that was different from the comics. They became friends in the show. And that was not the case in the comics, if I remember correctly.
No. But I like that the whole 2-gun, Iron Man thing, or not Iron Man, but Iron Fist. He's got the glowing hands with the fists, the guns. I was like, damn. But unfortunately, they never did anything with that. But right now there's supposed to be an Iron Fist book coming out, but I'm like, I don't know. Marvel needs. I understand they're doing these shows like stuff, but then I'm surprised that they dropped all their cartoons for the kids. Marvel was doing tons of cartoons on Disney XD, and now, as far as I know, Disney XD doesn't have any cartoons after 2018, 2019. They dropped all their cartoons. I don't know because there was no one's watching it, but whatever. But it's like, it feels like Disney's kind of abandoned like the toy lines and all that stuff too for Disney toys for Iron Man, Marvel stuff. DC does some stuff too. If you go to like some of the Target places, you actually get so action figures, but it just feels like these companies don't care about the kids anymore, and they do all these live action stuff too, which means kind of like if you're a kid, man, growing up like in the early 90s, 2000s, we had an Iron Man video game. Man, that game sucked. But you know what though? It was everyone was excited to play because it was an Iron Man game. And then you got the Captain America game that came out. That was after the first movie came out. You had the Wolverine game that came out too. Like you had all these cool like Marvel video games that were aimed towards like the fans, the kids and stuff. And nowadays, like they don't even do that anymore. It's like they say these are family friendly Disney movies, stuff, but I think that's a cop out. But I don't know. We'll see what happens with that with Disney stuff. But who's in the chat here? Sirs, I do not want squash or beets on my pizza. What do you want on your tombstone? Blame Canada for pineapple pizza. Where else here? Pineapple pizza because it waters the pizza a bit. Ugh. So you like soggy pizza? Is that what you're saying? Summer? Ugh. Brussels sprouts on pizza, I'd not tolerate. You know, someone probably out there has like Brussels sprouts, squash or beets, and pineapple and all these other weird stuff on their pizza. Everything you guys hate, somebody's out there is like, dude, I feel targeted. But yeah. So as far as the books coming out this week, we went over them. I definitely my number recommend is Night Fight. That is that's the final issue of that little miniseries. Joshua Williamson with Dan Moore on the art. I'm hoping that the Archie series is really good. I need a good Archie Army of Darkness. We haven't had any Army of Darkness books. The last couple have been kind of like so. The Dynamite series that was put out by Dynamite, that sucked. The art was horrendous. Fred Van Lente is one of the worst writers out there right now. He may not be out there virtue signaling and all that other crap on social media, but he can't write for shit.
Yeah, that's almost like the biggest disappointment in comics now is the just not very good writer. Now, Fred Lente has written some very good stuff
in the past. Yes.
Yeah. But I mean, it's easy to hate a writer, you know, that writes with his politics on his sleeve or, you know, virtue signals too much. Then we forget there are some writers that just aren't that good.
I had no idea who Jennifer Blood was until I read the first Dynamite crossover event that Dynamite did, you know, and she was in it. So I was like, oh, cool. I'll go check out the character. Garth Ennis on there. We also had Steve Grant had a run. And I was like, cool. It's about the mother and all that stuff. It's a revenge story, you know, for her parents and all that stuff. And she's like, she's a Lady Punisher thing. And then at the end, she kind of like walks away from her kid's life, you know. It said like just to let them have a better life, you know, through the foster parents. So for Fred Van Lente, I paused for a second. So for Fred Van Lente to come and like pick up and say, oh, now the daughter who last we saw was confirmed several issues, hated her mother for what she did to the family, blah, 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 and have her and her brother basically becoming the new Jennifer Bloods. I was just like, what is this shit? It was so out of character. And then they wrote off the mother saying that she died, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, what? And then the whole the art was bad. And everything was just so like Mary Sue kind of like style. Where the original one, the mother had problems. Every time she did something, it made worse problems. Even though she'd like take out one of like their evil like uncles or whatever people that killed her, you know, her husband, not her husband, but her dad and stuff. And but it would cause a rift in something else. There was always consequences. In this new series, there wasn't hardly any consequences at all. It was just so poorly written. And I don't know if that was Dynamite saying, okay, well, we didn't like the original, but we're going to take this IP that Garth Ennis made famous and then nerf it and change it. And then just like, what the hell? So, hello to Hypnotize. What's up, man?
I just sent you something. Yeah. Wow, you don't think about it when they're sitting at a table together.
Yeah.
Look at what I sent you.
1 second, man. What's your question there, Hypnotize? Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, he's a wrestler. That's all.
I know, but yeah, I know Dana Perino's short, but that is crazy.
Can I play Brittle Bones Nikki by Rare American? No. I don't play music on here. It's copyright laws, and then I don't know. Yeah, this is a kind of left field there. Never heard of Brittle Bones Nikki by Rare American, please. So must be a new artist or something. What's What do you want my thoughts on it? Is it a controversial song or something like that, or something you don't like about it? This is mainly we're just talking about comic books here on the channel here, and pizza. Do you like pineapple or do you hate pineapple on pizza? Like, what's your like naysay when it comes to toppings? But yeah, this isn't. Yeah, this and I don't play song or music on here stuff. But I mean, like, you have a like here, so I like them. Just want you to listen. Not at the moment. Well, maybe I said I'll check them out after I'm done here. But thanks for tuning in, though. I'm just sorry. It's just like, it just came out of left field. It's like, can you check out this music? Then I was like, it's just kind of like totally different subject from this channel. We're a comic book channel. What do I want to make? Tombstone, King Henry. That will suffice. All right. Yeah, you're talking about the guy you're showing on that is from the Great Gutfield show. The guy used to be on wrestling WF. What was his name? Curtis something?
It was Brodus Clay in WWF. Or
Brodus
WWE.
Clay. Yeah. When I never got into him because he kind of seemed like a Godfather 2.0.
Oh, it was a punishment gimmick, and it was so over at first. I loved it. It was because he was a combination of a bloated Godfather and Urkel. Because when he would hit somebody, he'd go, "Did I do that?" And then he'd pound somebody. And he was supposed to be a heel, but the crowd loved him. And one of the Funkadactyls is still there.
Really?
That's Naomi.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah.
Married
one of the Usos.
Okay, it's one of the Usos. Yeah, because Bianca Belair is married to one of the Street Profits, right? And then it was one of the other.
Yeah. MKF, there is no stream tonight. He said in Sports Ball, it's date night for him.
Yeah.
So
someone has posted a picture of that Greenland shark that is now 400 years old.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, it's not. I mean, there are tortoises that are like over a couple hundred years old.
But 400?
Yeah. Anyone watch the Grammars?
No.
No one watched that. You know what people did watch? Clips. Because no one wants to watch celebrities give their politics opinions and all stuff. No. The only cool thing out of the whole entire Grammys thing that I saw a clip there was the cover tribute to Ozzy Osbourne. With Post Malone, you had the guy from Red Hot Chili Peppers was on drums. And then you had Slash. I forgot who the other guy was, but no. Other than that, and then was it Jelly Roll giving a speech praising God, which really, I guess, really triggered a lot of people because there's a lot of reactions when people are saying like, how dare you, blah blah blah, praise Christ and stuff, and blah blah. You're probably a MAGA. It's just like,
well, they got pissed because he didn't.
He didn't say F ice. A lot of them were all saying F ice and stuff, but like, it was a cult. I'm so sorry. When I watch the Grammys or Oscars, when they all virtue signal, that's a cult. Everyone has to say the line, has to say anything. We all have to wear pins. If you don't wear a pin, you're like, oh my gosh, you're a horrible person. Blah blah blah. It's like high school. Yeah. And then Billie Eilish, yeah. That's the one thing I'll say this. Billie Eilish making a stupid comment, and everyone's sick of this stuff. Well, we're all in stolen land. We're all immigrants. So the people, the tribe that originally owned the land that she her matches on, told her to give it back.
I know. I thought it was funny. I like that sense of humor.
So yeah, she's not too happy about that. But I don't know. But yeah, Bad Bunny is supposed to be in, I guess, for doing the halftime show. I didn't know this. Turning Point USA is doing their own halftime show. So they're going to have their own music stuff. And so here's my thing. I'm just not watching the whole entire Super Bowl. I won't give them the view time for any of it. You know? Now, for those of you who are addicted to sports, some of you will just watch it because, but I just don't. And it's easier for me because I'm not really into football as much. But it's like I can't support, the Bad Bunny and all that crap stuff. I'm just sick of it. We could have had freaking Nickelback, man. Nickelback is way better, my choice, than having them.
Here's why it's Bad Bunny. The NFL is the biggest sport in the world, in America, I should say. Nothing comes close, and they're greedy. They want that Super Bowl audience. They wanted some of that to watch days other than the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. That's why the NFL virtue signals as hard as it does. The NFL virtue signals harder than the NBA now because the NBA started hemorrhaging viewers that they couldn't afford to lose.
Yeah.
Well, no matter what the NFL does, football fans aren't going to quit watching.
No,
and by turning every Chiefs game into how many times can we show Taylor Swift, they picked up millions of fans. Now, they might lose them immediately once she stops showing up at games, but the people that watch, Extra and whatever Inside Edition and TMZ, they want those people too. They want people to watch The Real Housewives, and they're not going to get them through regular means. So that's what the virtue signaling and all the other goofball shit like Bad Bunny at the Super Bowl instead of someone that would appeal to Middle America because they've already.
I heard people defending them, saying like, well, here's the thing, and it's like those people who do the halftime shows don't really even get paid properly and blah blah blah. So I'm thinking like, okay, how's that defend? How are you defending that? You're just saying that. So in your opinion, these people are being used and should not, and by all rights, should not even do this show at all because it's not worth it.
If somebody says, we'll let you do the Super Bowl, but we're not going to pay you and you have to pay your own way.
Yeah.
Nobody turns that down. You can't ask for better exposure than playing halftime at the Super Bowl.
Well, I don't want Bad Bunny exposing himself.
Well, you know what I'm saying.
I know.
Like I said, even with because who was it that said it doesn't matter if it's good press or bad press as long as they spell your name right?
Like, what have we had in the past couple of years? We had probably the best one I've seen so far was not it wasn't Shakira or was J-Lo. What was the other one? Was last year?
I don't know. I pay no attention to halftime shows anymore.
Rihanna. Rihanna was probably the best actual Super Bowl performance we've had in years.
That
was 2 years ago, I think it was.
And I know people complain about Bad Bunny, so of course they're racist. Not conveniently forgetting that the Super Bowl, their audience, like I said, is a little older. Football fans, and it's the most popular Super Bowl halftime show probably since Prince, who last I checked was black, was when it was Dr. Dre, Eminem, and Snoop, because they're old now. They're nostalgia. I mean, people like 50-year-old fans listen to them when they were young. Yeah, a 50-year-old can't identify with Bad Bunny unless they watch wrestling. They don't know
Even then, I mean, Bad Bunny had a collab song with Shakira, but unless you speak Spanish,
but then when all you hear,
listen, yeah,
you got to learn Spanish to know, to watch my halftime show in America. I'm going to wear a dress. It's like, it's like, I'll go fuck off. But there again, he's not performing for you and me.
No,
he's performing
for himself,
for that 14-year-old questioning their sexuality goofball that the NFL, like I said, they want everybody. We'll see how it works.
I don't listen to famous people's opinions. They're like assholes. Move on and ignore. Yeah, everyone's got one. But
well, at least my heart was in Seattle. So at least my head might have lost, but my heart won. Now, you know what? I'll be happy for Sam Darnold if the Seahawks win, but I will laugh my ass off if the Patriots do, because the voting committee voted to keep Robert Kraft out of the Hall of Fame. And if he wins another Super Bowl with a different coach and quarterback, I will, like I said, I'll laugh my butt off. But I'm good either way.
Yeah, under Quinn's bringing up that Bad Bunny's is another satanic pop singer. There was one. Who was last year? Who was this?
I won't even know if you say it.
Wasn't it? It's like some like it was in New Orleans, wasn't it? It was that black singer. I forget what his name is. Or like he was. Jason Derulo, I think it was. I can't remember what it was, or something weird like that. And I remember that the guy had been on stage wearing dressing up like Jesus, wearing a crown of thorns and stuff, and was mocking Christ. It's like at this point,
Lamar.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm sorry, there's no family moral values in this stuff, supporting this stuff, and it's become showboating. It's at this point, but. I don't know, man. It's like it's not. It's like Macy's, Thanksgiving parade. It's there, but after a while, it's like meh. It's all the same, and I just don't care anymore. It's different from when they had the Rolling Stones playing there, or hell, even had Creed was playing there. Everybody grips on Creed, but Creed Super Bowl was actually it was fun. But I don't know. It just seems like I guess they're gonna have Green Day there too as well. Bad Bunny and Green Day performing. I don't know how that's gonna mix well. You're gonna have Spanish Green Day.
Well, they do have the common denominator of hating Trump, and that's all.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah. I don't know. Like I said, I hope people do boycott it, and now if you enjoy it, go watch it. I'm not saying you can't watch. I'm just saying that I think that people that truly hate and speak out and say how horrible this is, but then go watch it. I wish those people would just not watch it. Tune it out. Deprive them of money.
I mean, I'm going to watch the Super Bowl, but I'm not going to watch the halftime. I couldn't care less.
Yeah. But
and it's not because Bad Bunny is baiting me or wearing a dress or performing in Spanish. I'm 63 years old. I don't care about modern pop, goofballs, unless they're hot chicks that I can look at. I'm big enough to say that. I'll admit it.
Yeah, put Sabrina Carpenter on there, you bigots.
Yeah, I like watching Sabrina Carpenter. I don't like listening to her.
No. Yeah, and honestly, it's like I said, the Super Bowl thing, yeah, it's become a spectacular. I think the last time I was really excited for Super Bowl stuff was back in the early 2000s when you had the Britney Spears and all this stuff, on there, and because then we got because after the Janet Jackson titty popping out, I was tuning in every year. I was like, I want to see another titty. Let's go, guys. Let's do this. Let's make titty happen again. And this never happened again. It's like watching NASCAR and never get to see any car accidents. It gets boring after a while. Just kidding. Yeah. dude, I was watching. I saw a clip the other day on Instagram. I was just doom scrolling, and NASCAR. Before they went on the paved track back in the 50s, they were down at Daytona on the beach and just driving on the sand. But because somebody complained, they said it was too dangerous stuff, so they're forced to then eventually move it on to the paved track like you see today. And that is something that's practical. You see them like in the little clips of them driving around on the sandbanks and just driving around. That's scary, because what happens is you get accidents because they were leaving ruts in the ground after a while. Like, yeah, that's what stuff I like that. Like when it's like actually legit, like like almost like a death race. NFL was created by a Skull and Bones member. Okay, didn't know that. By a pirate. Cool. Oh, and here comes our favorite character of the night, Jackson Roy Crick, coming in and asking, "How's the weather?" Well, it's my thermometer. The battery died. It froze and then just killed the battery. And it's frozen shut. But it was up to a balmy 26 degrees today. Hot take: most people who watch the Super Bowl aren't sports or football fans. They watch for the commercials or halftime show. I know so many people who don't care for the sports. Honestly, that was me. I watched it for the Budweiser commercials or the Pepsi Coke commercials.
Well, that's what I was talking about before. I said
that's what people watch it
for. If you ask a sports fan, the conference championships are the true. That's the true. I put that's where the champions are crowned. The Super Bowl is almost always played on a neutral site, except for the 2 years when Tampa Bay and the Rams were lucky enough to have it get there when they were hosting.
Mm-hmm.
It's filled with non-fans of the teams because it's filled with people that can't. You have to have money to be a football fan. You have to have FU money to go to the Super Bowl.
Right.
And there's when the conference championship games do very well in the ratings, they get between 50 and 55 million now. That's half of the Super Bowl audience. So half of that audience watches one game a year. If they can figure out a way to get some of them to watch more than that, they're not going to get it through football. If they did, they'd already have those fans. So again, that's why they trot out the Bad Bunnies and the and racism in the end zones and the stupid shit that turn off the fans. Yep. But like I said, if the NBA pisses off people, they just stop watching basketball. If Major League Baseball pisses off fans, they just stop watching baseball. Football fans are not going away. They never do. No. So they can shit you. You can shit on football fans, and they'll come back and say, "Can I have some more?" And that's why they want to get more fans other than their core.
Well, instead of
bigger than the other two sports combined.
Instead of watching Super Bowl, you guys should be checking out Tank Ferrets. He's a friend of the channel. I don't know if he still does his drawing streams at all, but he was working on his book for a while. Hello to Tank Ferret. What's going on, buddy? Yeah. A lot of times back a couple years ago, I'd watch Tank Ferret. He'd do some random pop-up live streams where he's just inking, just drawing. Same with ERTs. That's how I came across Manny, Good Dog Press, Trusty Sidekick. What was his name? Pablo. And just it's just like there's a lot of cool guys together and just do a drawing stuff.
I don't know
who I've been watching lately though. He randomly pops up and Cho. Frank Cho does how to draw and pretty much stuff. He like whatever character he's drawing, he'll upload it in the process from the beginning to the end. And he'll just show you like whatever he's drawing and whatever. And I love these little insights. There's one he did about Squirrel Girl. He's like, I've never known about the character other than the fact that she created a West Coast Avengers. But then he's like, when I was looking up for more information about her, he's like, I had no idea that she took down Doctor Doom and like Galactus or something like that. He's like, this is the most stupidest shit I've ever read. so I love that when like you get like learn a new information from some of your favorite artists, because I don't want to. I don't. That's one thing I don't want to know. I don't want to know your politics. If I'm following you for art and stuff, I want to see the art. But I also like when people talk comic book stuff. That's so too. It's a bonus. So, but yeah. It's Tink, if you're still doing live streams, let us know. Put us in the chat. Let us know when you normally go live, so people can go check out your content. I don't know if you're still doing that. We got here the propaganda is packed in the ads. That's unfortunately. You're not gonna get the Pepsi commercials from back in the heyday with what was it? Claudia Schiffer? No, not Claudia Schiffer. What was the other name? I'm thinking of Cindy Crawford. Yes, the little boy checking out their hidden puberty, watching her drink the Pepsi. Yeah. Apple's 1984 commercial in all the years. 1984. 49ers had a Super Bowl in California, and they didn't make it. Oh,
yeah, that's it. Unfortunately for them, they too many injuries. Well, I said that when the Bengals got to the Super Bowl 4 years ago, they played the Rams in the Rams home stadium. And that's like someone. I mean, that's buzzard luck, they call it. And the year before that, Tampa Bay hosted the Super Bowl and got to it when Brady was there, and they won. So, I mean, the two teams that hosted a Super Bowl won. And like I said, it could have happened again. A lot of times, there's no chance, like I said, because they have a lot of them in New Orleans, and the Saints, haven't been good in years. And
yeah.
But if the 49ers hadn't gotten so banged up, they would have had a shot because they had the best, one of the 2 or 3 best defensive players on planet Earth, and he missed half the season. Their wide receiver core was banged up, and Purdy missed a bunch of games. It's unfortunate, but it happens.
So Brady is retired fully, right?
Yeah.
He's not playing anymore.
3 years now.
Oh. Well, you never know. I don't follow it, so I mean, he could be still trying to play.
The guy that quarterbacked the last 3 games for Indianapolis this year had been out of football long enough to where he was going to be elected to the Football Hall of Fame.
Wow!
But he came back to play for 3 weeks.
Nice.
And it made for a neat story. I mean, he'd been out of the league for 5 years, and he came close to winning 2 of them.
Cool.
But I mean, he was one of the best quarterbacks of all time. But
all right. So Tank says I'm over on Omer Glitch on the weekdays nights, and Don draw stuff. Cool. And he says Dadland is pretty much busy. Well, yeah, being a father, it's always a thing, and that's here's my thing. Like, most of us who don't have kids, we look at our uncles, we like okay, kids are a chore, but if you enjoy being a dad, it's just fun, But yes, he's like bringing back the digital bullpen. Cool. Looking forward to that. He says I've also got a board game coming out soon. It comes with the mini comics. Cool. Nice. Kickstarter or is it going to be on Indiegogo or some other site? And also people don't like it. I know some people don't like either one of those, Kickstarter or Indiegogo or whatever, vice versa. But hey, Bankman, who is the highest paid individual player contract in the 4 sports? I think it's a baseball or basketball player. Highest paid individual player contract. Obviously from the Dodgers.
I was going to say, why are you asking Venkman that and not me? But yeah, that's how crazy it is. Even Venkman knows the answer to that. unless some European soccer player, it's possible that some European soccer player makes more than the 70 a year that Otani gets.
Okay. Well, I remember it was that last year guys were talking about that. You and MK were talking about, and just so that's why I remember that. So that's one of my random facts I remember is like how much people were getting paid for acquiring a baseball player at the Dodgers. It's just like
You're second most.
what,
The $60 million that the Dodgers gave Michael Tucker, or not Kyle Tucker.
wow.
Not worth it. Not even close to being worth it. But
I mean, if these guys are smart and they save the money up and don't spend it on frivolously, they're set for life.
oh yeah, well, not you. Look, at that kind of money, Don King could manage your money, and you'd still have some. I realize that's an old joke, but
I'm guessing he took a lot of money from his.
he still one of the stories because he robbed Mike Tyson blind.
Yeah, big. Well, it's not hard. Mike's not really all there.
He's smarter than you think.
Well, as I know, yeah, he's all. That's the one thing. I still say Mike should have punched out Logan Paul or Paul Logan, whatever his name is, the one that was in there.
He fought Jake Paul.
Jake Paul. At this point, they're both the same to me. It's like, all right. So he says so the board game comes out with Make Comics, and he also says, GameFound. I guess it's a website, gamefound.com or something like that. Second chance will be on Fund My Comic. Okay. So you guys are doing the alternative to Kickstarter and Indiegogo. All right, cool. So if you guys want to follow Tank Ferret Presents, he's over on the mobile. Or you can actually you can look it up right now, actually, if you want to, at Tank Ferret Presents. That's actually his name right there, his YouTube. So check him out, follow him there. Cool guy. Does a lot of drawing streams stuff, and just give him a follow. All right. Tank, you're not still doing that carpet cleaning business, are you? Or that not wasn't carpet cleaning, you were doing some kind of cleaning business. Remember, that's the last time we talked was that long ago when you were doing that business. Let's see here. Christopher Redondo is soccer, $285 million. Yeah, that's the other thing. Soccer is really, really those guys get paid a lot too. Yes, we call it soccer because it's not football. Sorry, European.
Yeah, but how many years is that spread over, Maranya? So I said Otani gets 70 a year. He signed a $700 million contract.
Yeah. You're welcome, Tank. No problem. Yeah, it's like I said. Don't mind plugging your stuff. You can pay me later. All right. What we got here? Wait, didn't Soto break Ohtani's record?
No. So yeah, but it's over more years. Yeah, he was 765, but it was for 15. But Tani's is 700 for 10.
Okay, and Marnie's saying that soccer salary plus endorsements. Yeah. What we got here? Yeah, but I here's the thing: Cristiano Ronaldo. Even I know who that is. I like just randomly pops up whenever you're like look at a celebrity. The guy's dated to like half the celebrities out there right now. The girls.
Okay, I'm going to answer it like this: the Reds, before they went out and signed Suarez, had $180 million worth of contracts active.
Mm-hmm.
The Dodgers, $2.2 billion.
Jeez.
That there's a little difference between those two numbers.
Yeah. Tank says Deadline has its challenges, but I love it. Finally downloaded my recipe for minestrone tonight. Never had minestrone. I've heard of it. Never actually had minestrone.
First, you have to put an E on the end of it.
Minestrone?
Minestrone, yes. That's how it's.
Oh.
And okay. I only know that because that was a staple in my house growing up. And
that was meatloaf.
I can remember are the tiny little vegetables in there that look. Oh God, I can't remember what they are, but they have like little creases. They're like little beans with like creases, but I don't know what they were. But yeah,
beans.
No, it wouldn't. But Maranya probably knows. Even though
kidney beans.
Job of. I don't know. They kind of tasted like the the pasta part of Campbell's vegetable soup. Like, yeah, and it might be it might be some kind of pasta for all I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, minestrone soup is great.
All right. GameFound is the number one site for games. Okay. I've never heard of that. He's pointing out here. Tinker says. Cool. Yeah, and he says I was doing the business, so I hung out. Cleaning company was number one content. I remember that. You were talking about the headaches from all the cleaning chemicals. Hey, look, there's a Breen on here. What?
I'm gonna do it like Doc. And I'm reading that Honey West.
Look at that. Breen is clean shave there. Look at that.
Yeah, it was about 2 weeks, and so I don't want to go on camera because that's a lot of chin there. Yeah, we don't like that, so we're going back to the.
No, we like chin of the week.
Nah, we don't. Yep,
No.
this is the these are my comics now.
All
Yeah,
right.
I started that Mike Shane last night about midnight, and I finished it this morning.
I know, dude. Marani says Breen's looking even younger. No joke. That's my first I thought too. I was like, dang. When guys like you see like me, like I always have this the gray stuff. When I shave, I look way much younger than I am. You know, eventually I'll reach that age where it doesn't make a difference. Let's see. That's Soccer Star plus endorsement. No, that's we already read that one. Dodgers have the lead in teams spent over $1 billion in one off season.
Yeah.
Got to bounce back to dad land and get the kiddos off the bed. Dad, take care, man. Great seeing you. All right. And also, Summer Star says, good night. The unknown calls me. Well, if you don't know that number, block it.
Henry, a friend of mine gave me this shirt. I'll wear anything that fits over this carcass. It's free as long as it doesn't say Duke.
Marnie says white beans. Might be that.
That might have been. I don't know. Okay, that's all right. Can anybody tell me? Let's see if I can make this get close up. Can anybody tell me who that is with Anne Francis? It's a very famous actor.
Sean Connery.
Not that famous.
Not that famous.
Okay. He was in the original of a movie that was remade.
Cary Grant?
A famous sci-fi movie remade in the late 70s. And he was the star of the original.
Don Sutherland?
He's in the remake. It's Kevin McCarthy.
Kevin McCarthy. Okay.
Yeah. I met what was left of him. He was one of the celebrity guests at this nerd show I used to go to.
Yeah.
And he may have already been dead. I'm not sure. But yeah, he wasn't alive much longer than that, but he was I didn't go and talk to him or anything like that. I never do with those things, but
so in the world of Dean Cain today, he said he got basically the boot from GalaxyCon, wherever that is.
Really?
GalaxyCon says, where pretty much gave him a letter and says, your politics aren't our politics, so F you pretty much. So so a lot of people are like, we're not going to GalaxyCon anymore. So that's my thing. If you're gonna GalaxyCon, if you're gonna block Dean Cain, then you should also play the other side too. If you should not just say like, well, this person has a different viewpoint than I do. Okay, well, we should block other people too, not just Dean Cain, because
that's a brilliant strategy.
Yeah.
Yeah. The people, conservatives spend more money.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, progressives.
We're there instead of protesting.
Yeah, that's
that's where money goes to. I guess there was a request to make you big screen.
That was just so you could see Kevin McCarthy.
No one wants to see you on IMAX.
No. I hope the show folds. I hope they have to fold.
Is that Kentucky?
No, I don't know where GalaxyCon is.
Okay, I thought it was like I thought because it's not Texas, but it was somewhere around there. But
I'm sure it's in a blue state.
Yeah. All right. Eric Breen, Hembeck Daredevil shirt. What the fuck? I mean, why the face? That's what he meant. Modern Family, I love that. What we got here? Sportico feature highest paid athletes in the world, 100 paid athletes in the world. Ronnie, I'm not clicking your link. It could be unsafe. Another con hate conservatives say FIs and then get a pass. Here's my thing. They don't like Dean Cain because Dean Cain's pro American, pro cop, pro stuff in law enforcement, pro veterans. I'm sorry. If you could have a guy like Mark Wade on or those guys saying calling for people's death and stuff online, but Dean Cain, who doesn't say any of that stuff, that's yeah, I'm not going to that Comic-Con. Heck, like the Chicago one, I don't like going to the Chicago one because the Chicago one I have to go into Illinois. To be in Illinois, I have more chance of being mugged before I even get a chance to say, "Hey, you can't come in because your viewpoints." Like I don't want to go to all these Comic-Cons, but yeah, that was the whole thing. Remember the Vic thing? They're not long. Vic Mignogna, that was that actor who was accused of being a pervert and stuff, but turns out it actually wasn't true at all. It was just the Whisper Network from Funimation. Turned out to be he was actually innocent. Yeah, and he ruined his career. Yeah, but heard they're bashing Nicki Minaj. Well, yeah, and also they were protesting in Chicago. Was it earlier this week or last Friday at the AMC because they're playing the Melania Trump movie, and he's like, "How dare you play that here?" Blah blah. And there's like, "We're Latinos," and the guy's like, "Dude," it's like, "Hey." They're basically harassing him. They wanted the corporate number, and he's like, "I'm not going to give the corporate number. You can go online, look it up yourself." And then and they're so upset because she has a movie out. Now here's my other thing. I don't like any political movies at all. I don't know why I went to the theaters, but I guess it's produced by Amazon. So just as Jeff
it's a documentary. It's
yes. I mean, it's so Jeff Bezos playing nice with the Trumps. I don't know.
Some of us didn't like seeing Joe Biden on the cover of every magazine.
I know. I don't care one way or another about it. I'm just saying but
speaking of Joe Biden, did you hear about her ex-husband?
Oh, do you mean Joe?
No. the husband before Joe.
Well, yes, she did the same thing to him.
No, murdered his wife.
Oh,
like last month.
No, did he use a hammer?
I don't know. It's just
like Elizabeth Warren's.
That's insane, though.
Yeah, they're not nice people.
I mean, think about it. I dated a girl in high school that murdered her husband.
Wow.
He absolutely deserved it, but
well, I was say it could be self-defense, or maybe
it actually became. It was a very famous. It became a very famous case. I mean, like 2020 did a feature on it.
Wow.
But she killed a guy, an abusive husband, in a town where he was beloved and she was an outsider. So she went to jail.
Wow.
For years. And ironically, my best friend, who didn't know her when we were dating, ended up being her neighbor in a really upscale neighborhood and became good friends with her. That's what
Sounds like a Lifetime movie.
No, but it was pretty crazy. But yeah,
Yeah. I mean, ain't the first time we heard of like domestic abuse cases where they finally had enough and they basically, end up poisoning him or shooting him.
her friend, her parents were very instrumental in them getting together because they had ideas on who was good enough for their daughter and who wasn't.
Oh,
I
yeah,
was
those,
I
right?
was I was deemed not worthy of her, so they made her stop seeing me, and they kind of picked out another boyfriend for her.
Was this before the drinking?
Oh yeah, this is high school.
High school. Oh, I don't know when he started.
Yeah,
There's guys your age that were smoking at 12 years old.
but I mean, and I was, but then nothing to do with that. I just, I just was. I mean,
Man.
I wasn't. I went to the games. I didn't play in them.
So it sounds like
good
she
enough.
was so. This is an actor. She was so frustrated with life. She lost about probably any real friends she might have had, and forced to a marriage she didn't want to be in, and guys abusing her. So she finally said, "Fuck it, I'm killing him."
Well, no, he was going to kill her like that night.
Yeah,
but I shouldn't be talking about this on a live stream. Even though it's been 30 years, but anyway,
like I said, it's like, and it's not going to come back to you. We're not, and I don't think YouTube.
No, I'm just saying it's not my place to say. Yeah, I always liked her. We've run into each other a couple times since then, and it's glad she's okay. Because like I said, there were children involved, and
there was I just saw ABC's doing a thing about I think it's called the Dull family or what was this group of kids that were basically their parents were basically keeping them all. There's like 13 of them. They were basically held prisoner, abused by their parents. Then they were sent to a foster home, and then more abuse happened there too. It's just like, and I forgot what the actual name of the family was. But it's like sometimes I wonder if this is actually real stories or fabricated, because we've seen how the media can just fabricate some of this story these for clicks. But remember the Scott Peterson trial and all stuff? The guy who was murdering his wives?
Yeah.
There are some sick people out there, but I mean, yeah, I believe, like, if it comes to the point where someone's going to kill you in self-defense, you basically kill them, whatever, just to try to save your life. I believe in that. But like, it's hard. I mean, it's a touchy subject because there are people. It's hard to get out of those kind of life situations too. A lot of times, women don't have self-esteem, or there's a kid involved, and just like all the different things. It's just like, yeah, it's a sucky situation.
Yeah.
And hey, I just know this, that the guys who used to beat on their wives back in the day, they were paid a visit by other guys who would set them straight.
Yeah.
But you can't do that much anymore because now everybody's like, go to jail. But what we got here? Soccer player gets $200 million per year in salary. She says that. So Barania, you guys heard of Savannah Guthrie mom that got kidnapped for ransom? No.
Yeah, I didn't hear about that, but
yeah. What's this here? My cousin was famous in the Petito case years back with a boyfriend, and her name is Petito too. And there's a lot of cases like that, and obviously I do not hear about because the media doesn't cover it. Then again, I also don't watch a lot of live television too. And in the past 20 years, I kind of like dipped out. I just started watching a lot of streaming stuff.
That's true. Smoking and drinking in high school days.
Yeah.
That was no big deal. Weekend parties, loud music, booze, maybe a joint, nothing more than that.
Yeah.
It is. The landscape definitely changed. I think what happened was a lot of it was Mothers Against Drunk Driving was very successful at forcing kids to give up drinking and instead raid the parents' medicine cabinets. So now all the kids are hooked on their parents' prescriptions. Kind of like traded one form of hell for another. But
was it the mid 80s when finally the laws started, the states are enforcing you had to wear a seatbelt?
Well, the 80s were when the Drunk
drink.
driving laws got tougher.
Wait, remember, like people used to have a beer and be open beer in a car, drinking and driving. Just one beer, as long as you weren't like, it was fine. But now it's like, now they have the
I don't know if it was legal, but you could get away with a lot more until
no one cared anything.
Yeah.
I don't know. As far as the laws, the gun laws, I always watch a movie like Footloose. You see like the pickup truck, the jerk boyfriend has his rifle in his truck mounted behind him.
Gotta address that. MK, it was Freon because when I was in high school, you could get that over the counter. It was a couple bucks a can. Now it's like hundreds of dollars. That's why most people never fix their car air conditioners when they break down because they can't afford the freaking Freon.
Yeah,
it's I wonder. MK's voice is so deep now. If he snorted Freon, it would probably change it to because I don't know if you could get it. It might hurt. Maybe his vocal cords would just snap. Because like I said, I've known one or two guys with voices as deep as MK's, non-Freon, aided, and I couldn't imagine what they could do with that.
I think he actually MK when he reads with us, I think he's actually snorting helium. So he actually comes up to that pitch voice. So that's not his real voice when you hear him when he talks.
He's a trained voice actor, so he can do those. I mean, Pixel has amazing range. I smoke that range away. I can't do the highs, that you guys can. I used to be able to. I can't anymore. But
I have good range too. I have a scope as well.
I've heard you get pretty high pitched, and like I said, Pixel can go. I mean, when he does the "oh boy" to some of the
or the "oh boy,"
I mean, and he can get as deep as almost as deep as me. And I can get almost as deep as MK, but
a lot of guys deep as other guys.
I can't go. I can't go in the other direction like he can because he didn't, pollute his lungs all this year.
Oh my gosh! When I first did that, there was the Mickey Mouse Charles Xavier thing. Oh, that was painful. That was at issue 1 or 2. I had to read the whole entire freaking story like that.
Oh boy!
Intellectual properties.
That's just I can't. That's as good.
I got to start coughing because I can't. It's like that's a pain in the butt. Yeah, especially during winter, I don't like when I do the reading stuff. My voice is like I said, I get all that phlegm in my throat because it's so dry in here. The temperature in my room right now is 74, but
I just fell in for him. And Michael Mouse Taylor says, "Oh boy, nope, that's not happening."
I ran my vocal range partly by shouting through laryngitis in college. But after a while, I get your voice. I'd rather just read like MK like this, way back for reading. Hey, I know. I make him sound like Barney.
MK or Yogi Bear.
Hey, I better pick that basket. Hey.
Okay, now I gotta correct you there. You need to put that third syllable in picnic.
On the picnic basket.
That's right. Now you sound like Barney Rubble Bear.
I know, right? Hey, Fed, how about a picnic basket?
Oh man.
That's the one thing I do. It's the one thing that's weird for me is doing those voices on camera so you can see me doing them. It's so weird when I see people do that. When I watch like any of professional voice actors, like the guy who does for SpongeBob, I just laugh. I crack up because it's like he actually looks like he looks like Drew Carey doing a voice of SpongeBob.
Mm.
No. No, the probably the character I do the most as close to my voice is Spider-Man. But then I also like the Batman. I just lower my voice down like this a little bit. And then I sound like a guy from New Jersey who's been smoking a lot. Somebody said that. I forgot who it was. Somebody would say like, "Oh, I think it might have been Rhaegar." Hey, you sound like a guy from New Jersey.
Wow.
I think I freaked out. Yeah, I freaked out Eric once when I did Amy's voice tone. Cause you talk like this the whole time. It's weird.
That was unsettling the first time I heard it.
Yeah. But Henry, good years. People accuse me of using a voice mask on my channel. You're awesome, bro. I do enjoy the MK Wars, even though some comparisons are questionable. The MK Wars, the Marvel Knights Wars, or the Mortal Kombat Wars? What wars are you talking about? But already though. But the lowest voice I can do comfortably is Ben Grimm. And by extension, Metamorpha. You need to talk like this, like the thing. Sweet Petunia. That's the one thing great about this. If Marani's on here, there's like 3 people on standby who can do the thing voice. I think even Trusty can do it too. Trusty, though, I think out of all of us, Trusty has the best vocal range. I love his Patrick Warburton when he does his Superman putty. You know,
Pixel has the most range. Trusty has the most talent.
I can see that.
What's that?
I can see that. Yeah, I can.
Yeah. Because I don't think he could get as low as Pixel. I mean, it's high. I mean,
you know what's great though? I'm so jealous is the fact that you can do the Foster Brooks because you lived it.
Never sounded like that, but
well, not as bad as Foster Brooks, Phil.
But
when
I've watched a lot of Dean Martin roasts. So
exactly. Only a Trusty's Daredevil. When he does his Owen Wilson. Wow, guys, I can't do it.
Well, you can do it for a couple words. He can do it for an entire reading.
Like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. And I said, just like I used to say, what made Bill Hader decide I want to do an Alan Alda impression? Who decides they want to do Owen Wilson? I mean, that's just.
Or Al Pacino, yeah. What you doing? Yeah.
Alan Alda voices everybody does, but I mean, nobody does Alan Alda.
I know, right? Yeah, when he does impersonations of Alan Alda.
God, I can't believe he's 90.
Is he the only surviving member on MASH?
No, there's 4 of them left, and they all went to the beach last week. And
Klinger?
Klinger's still alive. He's 91. And Alan Alda, they're both in wheelchairs now. And Mike Farrell and Gary Berghoff were like pushing their wheelchairs on the beach.
Is that the guy who played Winchester?
No, he died years ago.
Oh,
BJ.
Okay.
Radar.
Yeah, so BJ was the one that took over in the show.
He took over for Wayne Rogers when Wayne Rogers left.
Oh, the guy who played Henry Winchester was on
Charles Winchester.
So Charles Winchester, sorry. So that actor went on to be on what was it? The Dead Zone with Anthony Michael Hall. He was Anthony Michael Hall's like character's stepdad who he didn't get along with.
Henry, the Dean Martin roast. I think I told you this one before. Anybody in the audience hadn't heard this? Yeah, funniest moment ever. Rickles and Dean Martin, and Rickles goes, "It takes a lot of years to become a great comedian," and Dean Martin goes, "And you ain't reached that year yet." And Rickles waits for the applause to die down. He goes, "Thank you, Jerry." Anybody who was familiar with their feud knows
Yeah.
why that was the funniest exchange in the history of the Dean Martin roasts.
Wow.
God, I know it's coming, and I still laugh my ass off whenever I see that one. I don't even remember which roast it was now.
Yeah, it's just Don Rickles was great. Everything he did was just fun. You guys suppose here Mary Wynn said to be the new She-Hulk? The girl played Ramona Flowers.
I heard that rumor, but as far as I know, Tatiana Maslany is still She-Hulk. So it's
she said she wouldn't do it anymore. She wouldn't come back. So that was a rumor. Elijah Dushku actually did the voice of She-Hulk in the cartoon series.
Well, I'll tell you, they're not going to do better than Tatiana Maslany. Give her better material because that actress is amazing.
Yeah, she's a good actress.
I don't care if she's so far left that she doesn't have opposable thumbs. I hope if you're going to use her with better material, let it be her because she's great.
Henry Dresser Rose Cato call my heated questions between E and Brina as the MK Wars. Okay. Oh, Desert Rose. I was like, who's Desert Rose? MK, I'm just curious. So, what are you doing with all these answers? All these questions and stuff. Like, are you CIA?
Ronnie, I think Rickles' response was, that he's friends with Newhart because he likes the way Rickles that Newhart can see a bunch of boring people and his ability to go over and blend in.
Oh man, now I want to watch those.
I'll pop them in once in a while, or I'll look them up because I had a chance to get those, but I only had money for that or the Batman series. So I got the Batman series. And I got to think to this day, if I'd gotten the Dean Martin roast when that meth head broke into my house, he probably wouldn't have stolen that.
Yeah, I got that at Walmart, the Dean Martin roast. I found it. I think it's the best of or the complete collection. Was it the one that was on time, whatever it was on cable?
It was probably best of then.
Yeah.
I mean, there were some, I wouldn't need them all, but the ones that were, the 90-minute roasts were great. But but there were some people that, unfortunately, Frank never did one. He got to do. They roasted him, but
the one it always is the roast of Don Rickles, and I think it was a Delta from Don Rickles, but Foster Brooks says it's like it's like Don, yeah. Me and your wife, we watch your show all the time, so we know how much time I have left before I have to leave her house. I remember watching them when they happened. Yeah,
I loved when Rickles would look down at James Stewart and goes, "Jimmy, you're having a good time." It's just like. The hospital called, you died last week, that kind of stuff.
Don Rickles, when you'd see the girl over there, and he's like, I know what you're here for. One thing.
It was funnier, Jonathan Winters or Jackie Gleason? Jonathan Winters.
I don't think I've ever heard of John Winters before.
You would. You'd know him if you saw him, but Jackie Gleason was more acerbic. Jonathan Winters, I think, was just funnier overall.
Well, Jackie Gleason, he's
saying overall Jackie Gleason. Okay, Miranda, if you take out the honeymooners and just go with Jackie Gleason ability, off the cuff ability.
Jackie Wilson on the variety shows and Jackie Wilson in Smoking the Bandit. First
Jackie
one.
Gleason. Jackie Wilson was a soul singer.
Oh no, I didn't Jackie Gleason. I didn't mean Jackie Wilson.
No, you said Jackie Wilson.
Oh,
Go ahead and check the tape. Jackie Wilson, I learned, had like some kind of aneurysm type thing on stage and was like a vegetable for the last several years of his life.
that's horrible. That's the one thing I hate is dementia, or people are locked in their own mind, trapped, and they can't.
Well, it wasn't. This was basically a coma.
A coma. But even then, it's like that's horrible.
Like no brain activity.
Mm.
Be awful.
Well, he might have already passed on at that point. He was kept alive because of the machine. Well, there are people that have come out of comas though, and full recovery and everything. So it's like, yeah. But it's just like you think about it. It's like, imagine, like, we always wonder what it's like if you're being in a coma. Do you? And some people remember things, some people don't, or some people say, "I heard you the whole entire time."
Yeah,
that's scary. You hear, like, you can't get out of a dream. You're stuck in this dream, and then ugh, no thanks. What was it? Do you know there was a Jackie Wilson? Your love is lifting me higher and higher. Yeah, Ghostbusters 2, that song when they had Statue of Liberty. The dancing toaster. It loves Jackie Wilson. That's the only way I know that Jackie Wilson is from Ghostbusters 2. The man-eating toaster. I was thinking about this earlier today. Getting the TV guide, or you didn't know what was and only 13 channels. This isn't fun. Staying up late. Is this fun? Staying up late. I kind of feel bad for I love the 80s. Like as every time I read more about and more about it, and then view more documentaries and stuff. But that was just before streaming. There was no internet, and I'm thinking, like, what would you do after the Star Spangled Banner play, where the American anthem plays, at the end, and the TV's off? Like, if you're a kid, if you're a night owl,
radio station or play records was about it.
yeah, because in night owls, I'm thinking, like, what do you do?
Read.
Go read. Readings for nerds, guys. Now, comic books, you have comic books, you can read that. But
think about it. It wasn't then because there wasn't anything else. The only entertainment,
go by friend's house, maybe.
The only entertainment that we controlled when I was a kid was whatever you were reading or whatever record you were playing. Imagine, seeing a movie pop up on TV, and if you miss it, you have to wait till someone shows it again.
Yeah,
it's crazy how much it's changed in just my lifetime.
I grew up with the VCR. That was my thing.
Well, I said I grew up pre-VCR.
Well, Marani, we found out the VCRs came out in 1984. They were 81. There were VCRs out.
I was 19. I'd already grown up.
Yeah. So, yeah, like I said, Marani's saying they're 2 a.m., though. So, I don't know. I thought they were at midnight.
Depends on what channel it was. No, there were the late shows. Like, Johnny Carson and the show that followed him. And then sometimes they go off the air at like 2:33 a.m.
Okay, so there actually was TV on.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because I was saying, like, it had been a late show for, like, you watch Carson, but after that, it's like, if you're a night owl, there was no video games.
Yeah, well, Tom Snyder followed Carson. And he came on at like 1 to 2 because Carson was 90 minutes for years. But yeah, that's I said it's I can't imagine. There are things I like about the way it is now. If you want to watch a game, there's a good chance you can find it. If you want to watch a movie, there's a good chance you can find it. If you want to watch any shows, there's a good chance you can find them. So in that regard, I love it. But also, I think about my ability to make a living was taken from me by technology, because when you had to pay for music, I was on my way to a nice, comfortable retirement.
So here's the other thing too. Now I always think about too. It's like in the '80s, if the '80s, because there was no internet here, stuff. So there was, and so you couldn't communicate with us stuff, other people. And if your government's lying to you and stuff, like controlling the media, if they were doing that back in the '80s, you never would have known.
Yeah, here's what they were getting up to.
Yeah, well, look what they're doing in Iran. Iran shut off the internet so people can't expose what they're doing over there.
Yeah.
And then it's like, yeah, it's just like it's just you couldn't talk. So you really didn't know what was going on in the Middle East. You kind of believed whatever the news said, media said, because they would know. You wouldn't know because you had no way of asking, or unless you had somebody came over from another country as a family member would call you, whatever. International calling, that's been around for what, 50 years more, right?
Well, when I was a kid, the three major news,
ABC
broadcasts
Yeah.
were down the middle. Studies have proven that.
That's
what
good.
changed was the advent of cable news, and when newspapers, when digital replaced the newspapers, because you no longer read the newspaper to get the news, you read the newspaper to get your views validated. So that's why you have left leaning networks, right leaning networks. There's no money in down the middle, and it's destroyed news gathering. It's, like I said, newspapers, because no one's going to subscribe to a newspaper that either challenges their worldview or opposes it. So, like, the New York Times made the decision to go after one half of the aisle. As did Washington Post and most major newspapers. But
see, I miss growing up with the National Enquirer and stuff. Those was like Bat Boy.
Now, mainly though, because most reporters were liberal in nature, but they were professional and kept their views out of it. A good friend of mine who recently passed was the lead political writer for the Cincinnati Enquirer for decades. He was a far left guy. You never knew that if you read his columns, because he always kept his politics to himself.
Well, a lot of stuff, the old school Democrats are different than what you have today. The old school Democrats are moved to the center now.
Right.
It's crazy.
Well,
I watch Bill Maher clips. I don't really agree with Bill Maher and everything, but he does call out his sides, like, it's like there's a reason why things happen because you guys are idiots and stuff, and so he does call out stuff now.
Yeah, he's
more middle now because he just moved to the side.
He's still
yeah.
He's still at least claims to be way too much of a climate change zealot.
Yeah.
And he's still, I see the difference. Yeah. He finds fault with both parties now, which when he was a liberal, I guess he didn't think there were any until the Democrats moved beyond liberalism into, I don't even know what comes after progressive, but they're damn near there now.
So Sylvester Stallone was an old school Democrat. And his brother Frank was always the one that was the conservative one. So I said, like, it's weird how you look at how things have shifted over the years, where people who normally were like opposite the aisle are now closer to your aisle because a new party popped in and said, we're going to do communist stuff. Like, social and communist has become like the fab now. Like, everybody's like, oh my gosh, I love it. It's like, and then you have these people who actually come from those countries are like, am I in the Twilight Zone? But yeah, but the pirate radio stations. I'm glad you brought up the pirate radio stations. Miami Vice. There was one of the episodes. There was a pirate radio guy station on there, and Rob and I are going to be starting up doing some Miami Vice reviews of season 1. Not next week, but probably the week after. We're basically when Fallout's done. After the last Fallout episode's done, we're going to start doing some Miami Vice, either on Sundays or Tuesday nights. We're not sure. So tune into that, or if anybody wants to join, discuss it with us. But yeah. To do syndicate stuff like Hanna-Barbera cartoons, Private Secretary, classic Star Trek, Batman 66, and so on. I guess. Yeah. Oh, what shows did you watch? Back in the day, 70s. H&R Puff and stuff. Captain Kangaroo. Captain Tennille. I don't know. I think most people watch. What was it? The 70s. What was it? The $1 Million Man. Was that 80s?
$6 Million Man. It was mid 70s.
Mid 70s. Yeah.
Late 70s.
Yeah. And then Bionic Woman was a spinoff of that. But I think what Breen was probably watching in the 70s, he's probably watching Kolchak the Night Stalker.
For the 10 minutes it was on.
Right? The ABC. Oh, yeah. Did you guys ever watch like the ABC like TV movies, like the premiere of Superman and stuff like that? Did you ever sit and wait for the movie to come on? I remember when I was younger, I would watch like there were recordings with VHS stuff, but I'd watch like Walt Disney doing an opening of a movie, talking about what's going to come on. I think that might have been in like the late 80s. I think was it Michael Eisner did that too? Would sit down or maybe they would air those old reruns. But I remember like Walt Disney would come on, and before the movie would come on, they'd have a Disney animated movie or live action. So. Remember the one presidential convention where the live on TV someone had a sign that read, "Ritz and Fritz, give me this." Give me the. Yeah. Oh no! I would have loved the scene is the George Bush Sr. with the soup thing, where I got where he threw up. Was that national television too, or is that just kind of like not shown? But damn, I'm trying to remember. Carol Burnett. Flip Wilson, welcome back, Cotter, Sanford and Son. R.I.P. to Grady, a.k.a. Lamont. He just died like 2 days ago.
Grady.
What?
Grady.
That was his real name. Was Grady something?
No, it's Damon Wilson.
Pretty sure it was Grady something. I think it was Grady DeMont Wilson.
No, it's good. No, Grady was a character on Sanford and Son, played by Whitman Mayo.
His real name is Grady Denman Wilson. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I know. People when they posted that, people were saying like Grady the character. He's like, no, it's Grady Denman Wilson, but he always went by Denman Wilson. Yeah.
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 I know.
Yeah, I died in January 30th. 79 years old. That's another show I came to just love. And then the guy who played Grady Wilson was Whitman Mayo, which I think he went on to do the Superman and Lois and Clark. Or not Superman. Yeah, was it that one, Lois and Clark, The Adventures with Dean Cain? He was a guy. I think he was the guy that was helping out Lex Luthor. Or am I thinking of another actor? Maybe I'm thinking of another actor. But so another movie I discovered was called DC Cab. Rob's like, we're not reviewing that. Yeah. So, but yeah. Star Trek, $6 Million Man, Outer Limits, Twilight Zone, Night Gallery. Yeah. But all right though. Going on for 2 hours and 40 minutes. Eric Breen, who is the name of the actor to play Sonny Corinthos on General Hospital?
Maurice Bernard.
Man, Henry is still going. He was like, Taxi, WKRP, Happy Days, Charlie Day's Angels, for obvious reasons. Really, what reasons are those? Battlestar Galactica, Black Sheep Squadron, Wild Wild West, Kung Fu. Battlestar Galactica, yeah. I watched that for reasons too. The remake. So, Henry, I watch all those at one time or another. All at one time, the same time around you? That's crazy. Out of all those shows that Henry's listed, what is the best show?
Let's see. Taxi, WKRP, Happy Days, Charlie's Angels, Battlestar Galactica, Black Sheep, Sweater, Wild West, Kung Fu. Taxi.
Yeah. He also had on there. He also had Carol Burnett, Flip Wilson, Welcome Back, Kotter, Sanford and Son, All in the Family, Star Trek, $6 Million Man, Outer Limits, Twilight Zone, and Night Gallery were the other ones.
Okay, out of every show you mentioned, Twilight Zone, top tier. All in the Family, top tier. Carol Burnett, top tier. Taxi, WKRP, right there. Happy Days, fluff. I mean, it was comfort television.
Yeah.
Sanford and Son, pretty damn good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else mentioned there.
Kung Fu, Black Sheep, Wild Wild West.
Yeah, they're okay. Good. Yeah, I mean, it's not classics, but yeah, I said Charlie's Angels, fluff. I mean, they were you weren't watching that to expand your intellectual horizons. Put that way.
Unless you're 13.
Yeah, well, there's some of us you were expanding when you were 13 watching that.
For me, out of all of them, man, I like All in the Family. I think Sanford and Son is one of my all-time favorites shows. I just watched all the way through. That's just fun. But WKRP has his moments. I'm not a huge fan of that though. Taxi, I love it. I mean, I thought those were pretty good. A really good show. Man, it's hard to pick though. But I'd probably lean towards Taxi or Sanford and Son for me.
So yeah, All in the Family was not only was it groundbreaking, it was as funny as anything I've ever seen. While you were actually being challenged, did you know that All in the Family was the first show that had a toilet flush?
Really?
Yes. Because if the Bradys shared a bathroom,
but never flushed.
There's no toilet.
Oh,
No.
Maybe they just went in the shower.
You weren't allowed to show them back then because that stuff didn't exist.
That's awesome. Wow.
Yeah,
I mean, that's comic books. We never see anybody in the taking a crap.
Because they're up in, I said, Archie wasn't in the scene. There's like, Archie, are you coming down? You hear the toilet flush. And the crowd laughed for a minute. I mean, it was, like I said, one of the all-time great laughs in television history.
You really don't hear about people on the toilet really much, unless it's big, like in the movie, what was it, Lethal Weapon 2, I think it was, where he's on the toilet, the toilet bomb.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's like toilets weren't really you don't really use it all. That's the one thing too with comic books. You never have anybody saying, "Hey, excuse me, I'll be right back. I use the restroom."
Yeah, it's because you don't.
You've had shower scenes
that nobody wants to talk about.
It's a shitty conversation.
Like when they were in soaps, when people would be kidnapped. General Hospital had a guy. He was chained up on a bed in the basement for like 6 weeks. Okay.
I expect brown sheets.
Yeah. But yeah, so you just kind of like didn't think about those things. Like, like the Rhino's suit supposedly didn't come off. Okay.
Maybe there's a hole.
How long until Zemo starves to death? Can't take his mask off. He's a Vex. So I mean,
so that's what I do. He moves this. So how's his lips moving under the mask? I was wondering too.
Anyway, we've completely lapsed into nonsense.
When we start talking about shit.
Yeah. So call it a night. I'm ready to go upstairs and
all right.
listen to some jazz.
Last few comments here from the Peanut Gallery. Or the
why not? Rod's not using them anymore.
Yeah, right. I took the 10 a.m. slot. You're not using it. I'll keep it warm. All right. Says Henry, I watched all those at one time. What another? Marania says. Then she says, a lot older westerns I watched when I would go to New York or Atlanta before I saw them on MeTV. Sanford's Son and the Jeffersons were the flip aid of All in the Family, bigotry wise, and I appreciated both sides. And the White Shadow. I'm guessing I've never heard of that.
Ken Howard played a basketball coach at like a racially charged high school. His players were a mixture of black and white players, and it was actually a pretty good show for its day.
All right. Trivia question from Rania. Which movie was the first one to feature a fart sound?
That I don't know. I'm going to say Blazing Saddles.
Probably. With how much they did in there, the beans and stuff. Might be. Answer says... Eric is correct. You may now steal the board. All right. Yeah, I guess that's it for the night then. Eric and his work husband will be live tomorrow night on I Love Comics, talking about music, probably not comic books. Who knows? I don't know because I won't be there. I might pop in for it a little bit. Depends on what the subject is. Before I jump in. Yeah. And then I'll be live tomorrow night around 11 p.m. Central, 12 p.m. Eastern. We'll be reading the next volume of Full Metal Panic, the manga crew stuff. So tune into that if you want a lot of innuendos and just a lot of crazy humor. With crazy young kids. All right, that's it. Hope you guys had fun, and then leave a comment down below. Let us know what you thought of tonight's books. Are you excited for any of them? And just whatever, just say hello. It helps the algorithm. Tells the channel, YouTube says, "Hey, we like this channel." Yes, Marania, we are pulling the plug. I prefer the scarf, but but pulling the plug works for it too. All right. You guys know the drill. Click the like button, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Check out the Ko-Fi link if you want to help the channel out, support the channel financially. Or you can just share out the channel when we're live, or just leave a comment down below after we're done. Hit the like button too. And we'll see you guys later. Thank you for staying around. Henry, it was great to see you guys here. Undead Quen, MKF30. Tank Fair jumped in here too, and yeah. If I missed your name, I'm sorry. Cheeseburger Comics, and I did not see Asa Proctor though. But yeah. All right, guys and gals. I don't know who weren't watching us, but all right. Thanks for watching. Keep it easy. Good night, Brain.
Kids.